Hey everybody, welcome back to another special rendition of Mirror Musk. This is going to cover by basically what happened today with Chad Zumock, the passing of Ski Mask, and everything in between that. And we have Dr. Chow, Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid, and some other special guests coming on later on today. So I just want to say to the people watching, this is kind of just to remember Ski Mask, Kevin, and just his time in this world and everything like that, and the people he's touched. And then we're also going to cover Chad Zumock being a total piece of shit scumbag human being. So yeah.
So we got all our bases covered tonight.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah,
Chad, so we start first.
Yeah, I'll start with Ski Mask. He was one of my favorite guys to watch stream for the last 2-3 years, and it's one of those things that's shocking, but it's not surprising. He suffered a lot with his alcohol dependency, physical dependency, something that me personally, I'm in recovery, so I kind of can relate to some of the stuff he was going through. I'd been through that type of like withdrawal, delirium tremens type shit, and it's a vicious cycle if you can't get off. So it's really sad, what happened, but he was also my favorite guy just to watch as a fan. We had him on this show more than any other guest we've ever had. Ski Mask, and they always did great. He's an amazing performer, a funny guy, and I got to know him and a little bit offline, and I loved how he incorporated his family, and that's who I really feel bad about, his dad and brother. It's sad.
Yep. No, I agree with that. It's very heartbreaking, honestly, because I mean, no father or no parent should have to bury their child, and also finding them too. That's some type of traumatizing, event that they'll never get over. And I just hope they're going to be able to have the proper support, system behind them to help them go through these hard times. So, Rick, how you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm good.
Okay, just wondering because I have these little earbuds. Okay. Hey, man, I love Ski. I got to meet him. I got to hang out with him. It hurts that he went. I'm not going to say anything. It hurts. I don't know what you guys have said. I just joined, but from what I know, it hurts how he passed, and that's all I'll leave. I don't know if details are coming out, if people are free to say what they know. I don't want to say what I know because it was said in confidence, but I just hope that like you say, his family. I live in Smith County, where he's from, where he grew up. I live 10 minutes away from Tyler, Texas, where he grew up. He's told me about his mom, where she lives, where his dad lives. They're where Cabana King lives now. But anyway, so I got to meet the man. He would call me up. We'd be on the phone, and he'd call up his buddies that he grew up with, and we'd have like a 3-way conversation. All around good dude, awesome in podcasting. That guy was nuts. And to me, crazy podcasting is what I love. That's why I love Kevin Brennan. Yeah. So it hurts. He will be missed. I hope that wherever he's at, he's just in a good place. Whoever believes in the afterlife. I'm just saying, I hope he's in a good place and is forever eternally happy and okay with things. And I pray for his family. I hope they're able to recover. Well, they're mourning right now, but after a while, I hope that they're okay with his passing and that they can move on. And that's all there is to it. I don't know what else to say, but I will miss him. And he was an OG ass buzz. I don't know if you curse.
Yeah.
No, you can curse. I don't give a fuck what you say.
OG as fuck, man. Original gangster as fuck, man. I mean, he's one of a kind. That's all I got to say. That's why his show popped off. Hey, a lot of guys tried podcasting. He caught Kevin Brennan's attention. He caught other people's attention because he right away, in my opinion, stood out. He stood out. Crazy, nutty, and funny. He was funny. I'll give him that. And so made him one of a kind. And I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, just hope that. All right, rest in peace, Ski. Whoever's watching that knows him, we're sorry for your loss.
An OG character, OG fan of MLC. If you thought of an MLC fan back in the day, you thought he was the most outward one. He did everything kind of as looking at like Kevin as the guy that he wanted to emulate, but he also had his own style and he did stand up. People don't like know his dad posted some stuff on Twitter. You can check it out. He was a working man too. He always wanted to work. He
Blue
worked
collar.
out. Yep. So he wasn't like a guy who was like isolated and alone in a sense. He had friends, like people. He was to some degree because of his youth, probably, but like everyone who knew him was always like, "Man, he's awesome. He's an awesome guy. He's got to get over his, if these things can work out." But it's just sad, and yeah, I mean, like I said, we've had him on a bunch of times. Every time was just great podcasting, and like Rick said, he was like if he was a guest on a show, it made the show 10 times better every time,
God,
no matter what. You never knew what you're going to get. So, and that's like when on a repetitive show that's daily or weekly or, like being that wild card is like, it's what people love. So,
what I loved about him is that he could go on as someone that he looked up to, like Kevin Brennan's show, and not give a fuck and piss off Kevin and tell Kevin straight up, hey, dude, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Basically, kind of like saying, hey, I'm going to do me. And too bad if you don't like it. And that was what was awesome, because Kevin would be like, all right, get this guy. I'm getting rid of this guy. Because, Ski would get a little nutty on Kevin's show. I didn't really see him on other shows except with, just his own show or in Kevin's show. But I know that with Kevin, he didn't give a rat. If he wanted to say something, he said it. No holds barred. You know what I'm saying? Like you have guys like Karmic, and they kind of like thread on thin water with Kevin. Like, hey, I'm sorry, Ski didn't get flying F. And that was, I'd be watching. I'd be like, damn, this dude's nuts. And that is such a crazy thing.
It was all about being funny over anything, So like if he did piss someone off, he'd be like, that was funny, like you get over it quick,
Yeah. He likes to show. What I liked about Ski, he would be like, hey, Rick, you took a picture with you and your wife at Tyler, Texas. Guess what? Well, I worked on that building. You see that, right? You see that sign right there? I'd be like, yeah. He'd be like, well, I built that. I'd be like, damn, bro. So he was where Patrick Mahomes is from. He was king of Tyler in my eyes. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I loved Ski because honestly, he kept it 100. I was honestly, my first time ever appearing on any type of show whatsoever was on Ski Mask Collective. I remember that. And he gave me a taste of what it felt to be on camera and to have fun, And he was a type of personality, character that embodied just giving zero fucks what you say on the mic, but you make it a good time. And that is and he was somebody who truly inspired me with my, kind of helped develop the show a little bit, helped develop how to, just to do things. He just kind of was just not a centerpiece, but a piece of a bigger puzzle. And I think that will be drastically missed. And I wanted to say, I do appreciate him, helping encourage me, helping me, be a better podcaster, all this in between, and just doing shows with him and consistently, just being a little bit more than just a business partner, not a business partner, but like, within business, but also being more friendly towards each other as friends. And he's from Texas. I'm from Texas too. And it's just, he's just a really nice guy. And I do appreciate the phone calls we had together privately and everything in between and doing shows. And he just brought a lot of laughter, a lot of joy. And also he was one thing I'll say about him, he was very down to earth, and that's very hard to come by. If a spade's a spade, he called it a spade, and a lot of people aren't like that anymore, and I think that will be drastically missed.
What I loved about going on this show was that I knew whatever I would say, he wouldn't be like he wouldn't put you down over it. He'd be like, all right, let's look into it. So if I'd say, hey, Ski, I have the hots for one of my cousins, he wouldn't be like, you're gross, get out, he'd be like, let's talk about it. What's up? If he'd say, man, me and my wife, this is going on, it wouldn't be a judgmental thing. It would just be, it'd be like, let's talk about it. Let's dive in and see what's cracking.
My wife. What do you think about that? Like, would you come over and I want to watch? I want to sit in the cuck chair. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
There you go.
So that's what sorely needed. It's someone who isn't just going to be like criticizing everything that you do. It's more about, okay, well, let's figure out why you're doing what you're doing, how it went about it. When I went to his place in Connecticut, I did a show at his place in New Haven, West Haven, one of those, Connecticut, when he was living with his girlfriend there at the time. Man, the first thing I told him was like, because like I said, I didn't have to thread on water with him. I was like, hey, look at the king size, right? He would talk about his king size, the bed, the king size. I'd be like, bro, how do you and your girlfriend, how do you guys get down? Show me right now. What positions you guys do? You got her like this? Because I see the dimensions. And I mean, this is how I would do it. You know, he was the type of guy that you felt comfortable just, boom, let's just get gritty and nasty and crazy on this, on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all good. He grabbed my dick. Yeah, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Went in the king size. You went in the king size, right?
I was on the king size, bro. He asked me to take off my clothes. I'm like, all right, dude, but I'm leaving out my undies. He started grabbing my wiener to like see if there was a big piece, see if there was a big piece or not. My wife saw that. She's like, you better not be an effing FA, and I'll leave it at that.
What, a
I was like,
fucking
no.
We don't do the gay talk until the second hour, Rickosaurus. We usually wait till the gay reveals until later in the show.
Yeah, the gay segments are later in the show.
Look, man, I gotta get moving because I'm trucking out here in Virginia. I got a hot load going to Dallas. But what I'm saying is, hey, what's up, Dr. Christina? If you're out there, you know I love you. Hey, I'm just saying, like, dude, this guy was nuts, and I'm like, I had to tell my wife, bro, babe, I'm not gay, all right? This is just ski mask. This is how he rolls. That's the show, and we got to deal with it. And man, I love him. Anyway, go ahead, guys. I'm sorry I'm talking so much.
Dan, do you have anything you want to say about the passing of Ski Mask?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, you guys know him as well as anyone, or better than me at least. You know, he came on my show a couple months ago, and it was awesome. And he kind of like took over the show, and that's kind of the personality he has. Where it's, you know, I think Chow, you called him a wild card. He is the quintessential wild card character. If you don't know what you want to do, get Ski Mask on. You know, something's gonna go down when you get him involved. I was just even thinking about him the other day. I was like, oh man, it's been a while. I should get him back on the show. You know, it sucks. Obviously that's not going to happen, but he was, I mean, we had a great conversation. Deb, who might join the show, she was telling me offline after he did our show, they talked on the phone for like 2 hours. And it was almost like what you were talking about, Lil Mir. Like, he's one of the most down to earth guys, loves to just talk about life and things going on, and had so many different interests, was you know, beloved by most people. I mean, you couldn't not like the guy. I mean, he just had just a likable personality. You know, yeah, he was crazy. Yeah, he was doing all the crazy shit. But underneath that veil, underneath that mask, he was just a really good guy with a really good heart. And it sucks. You know, and I don't want to get all too sentimental, but anytime people pass, man, it fucking sucks, dude.
Oh yeah.
Life is so precious, and you should never take it for granted.
And it's fleeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're here one day, gone tomorrow. It's like, dude, he's fucking gone. It's like it's so fucking crazy. I thought it was a joke when I heard it this morning. I'm like, oh, he's fucking around. It's like, oh, it's a, you know, oh, tell me this is a work. This is like a work that he's doing, right? And it's like, no, it's not a work. It's like, fuck, man, that sucks.
Well, he was an open book more than anyone, because he would have his brother as a co-host, which I love. When it was Cabana King and Ski Mask, those are my favorite shows. You know, Rickosaurus is a huge Cabana guy. And then, you know, his dad made appearances, and he would talk about his girlfriends, and everything that happened in his life was for content. So it really was the most dynamic, like, type of show. It wasn't watching clips or doing all this fake internet drama stuff. It was an original show. And that's what I really, really liked about him as a fan. And then I'm not going to say like I really knew him super close. You know, I had talked to him a little bit offline, and, you know, I had guest hosted with him several times when Stanza wasn't available. So we kind of knew each other as acquaintances. And, you know, as an alcoholic, I had tried to, you know, do my active recovery of, you know, trying to be there, I guess. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's just, you can't really help. There's so much that goes into it that you can't. It's on. You know, it's a brutal thing that he had to go through. So it sucks.
Can I say, adding to Dr. Chow, what he just said about an open book? That's what he did. the Howard Stern type of thing. Hey, this morning, this went down. Last night, this went down. He didn't care. He talked about it. So even if you never met him, there's that Howard Stern, like, I don't know open answer, but at least for me, Howard Stern type of relationship where, like, I've never met Howard, but I feel Howard because he's always talking about his life. There's always a saga going on, whether it's with his ex-wife, a new girlfriend, his kids, Robin. With Ski, it was like drama with Jim Stansel, Stevie Lou, Kevin Brennan, my next door neighbor. I'm
Chad
in the trailer.
Zumock.
Chad Zumock. I'm in the trailer park in Galveston. This hot ass hoe. This whack ass fool next. You know what I'm saying? It was always a saga, and he was open about it. This is going down. So you never had to. With him, I only met him once, but I was always still in his life, quote unquote, in the sense of like he was always sharing, and you're always like, wow, now Ski's up to this, now Ski's up to that. He moved out. The trailer park almost flew over in a hurricane. It's like crazy. Like, what's going on, bro? You know, it was nonstop drama / saga. And that's what I think is special about Ski, that he brought you into his life. And it was a fucking crazy life, a beautiful life, in my opinion. Hey, we all have vices. I'm a fucking sugar addict. I'm diabetic as a result of it. I'm still eating chocolates. So for people that want to, like, he's a fucking junkie alcoholic too. Hey, some vices are. It took me a long time to quit smoking. I finally did. I still can't quit some sugars. I got to be on metformin because some vices are stronger than others. So anyone wants to judge him because he or drank too much and he deserved to die, that's bullshit, man. We all got our vices. Women, gambling, sugar. Right. I mean, who knows? We're all fucked up. Yeah, what's up?
What sweets you got in the back there? You got some fucking cupcakes or Reese's
I got my Kit Kat, and my Hershey's.
I knew you had something good back there. I knew.
Dude. $1 each at the TA travel centers, man. I'm like, these mother effers want to keep us diabetic. They're not helping out. You know. Anyway.
Mir, you said he was the first one who put you on.
He was, yes.
I think I don't know if I was on your show first or his as a guest, but I'm sure Rick is similar. I know Rick goes back with Artie, but like he's the OG of all this, of like fans of the MLC. He's the first seed out of like the fan creating a show. And now there's dozens and dozens of them. So he was the first guy to do it. And he gave a lot of people a start. Plus he brought on characters from his real life, like his cousin. That was episode of the year last year.
April. Right. Was her name April? Baltimore.
Remember that? Yeah, I don't remember her name, but she was on, and there she was fighting with Stansel's chick from Chicago.
Yes.
And Stansel was in. Yeah, there's sagas of like he bring in these random people. The guy, like, it's just always exciting. So it sucks that he's gone, and I prayers up to Yard Dog and Cabana King, and I know he has a sister too, and of course they're all the friends and family that he has that have been on his show. So
Terry Nee, this is not the time to joke. All right, Jesus.
I'm doing the Boschetti. Yeah, try to do the Boschetti, like read the text or the chat.
I will say this: we had Ski Mask on for our Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Well, we had Mask off a few months ago, and he was a little more subdued, but we had him on for the Super Bowl stream last year when he was turning 29.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very adamant, and he's been adamant about this. It was one of his things, is he had a death wish that he wouldn't live past 30. And unfortunately, I hit him up on his birthday when he turned 30, and I said, hey, man, I told you, just keep going, and it sucks, So like,
did you expand on why that was? Was it just the pain from the addiction, or was it depression? Did he ever go into it? I mean, maybe if it's too personal, don't feel like you have to say it. But
I didn't know anything about it. I think it was just a mantra that he got. Like he had told himself so many times, like, yeah, he had health problems, obviously, like. With the alcoholism,
he had seizures problems, issues, right? Yeah. Pancreatitis or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, and both those are very, very, painful, and that delirium tremens when you're like physically.
Oh, you're fucked.
addicted to alcohol. He got to drink first thing in the morning. It's just a hell like that he was in. So, yeah, all that probably contributed to the negative mindset. I know personally there was he had problems with relationships, you know, with women, but he was always a loyal guy. Everyone, like, that was something we'd always talk to him about. We'd be like, oh, what about getting like, and he's like, no, I'm a one woman guy. I love her. I want her back. I did wrong. So, right, Rick? Like, he was always an honorable, loyal guy.
He would tell me that he's still in talks with, I'm not ever going to say her name, but his girlfriend in Connecticut. Like, that was his love, the love of his life. I don't know if she'll ever get the news. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. Because I don't know what the relationship was as of recently, but he loved her as of now. He still wanted to be with her. And beautiful. I thought she was gorgeous. I met her in person. Very sweet to me, because I was a guest in her apartment. So he still had a lot of life. For anyone thinking, well, he was just a junkie. No, this guy had a life.
No, he wasn't. Fuck no.
Yeah, he still had a life. There was a future. A lot of people in his life that loved him, that were rooting for him. I loved him. I rooted for him. We could never get together in Smith County, where I live now, where he's from. But there was a lot going on with this guy, positively. Not because people just want to be like, well, he was just crazy and probably drank himself to death. And they're like, hey, shit happens, man.
He's a human being. He's a fucking human being, bro.
He looked like real. Like when I saw, and once again, I don't have as much of a history with him as some of you guys do, but earlier this year, I even said to Deb, I was like, I think this guy turned a corner. I think he's kind of mellowed out. He's hit 30. He's like, you know, he's become an adult. Seems like he's doing better. He's cleaned up a little bit. He looks like happy. He's working. He's doing stuff.
Yeah.
I thought but you know what? And Chow, you know this with like addicts, sometimes that's not always a good sign, because they're setting themselves up. Well, there's always kind of like that other thing that can fall down the road. Like, I had a cousin that was, you know, and I don't know what he was into, but he obviously had addiction problems. And I was like, you know, and he wouldn't show up at holidays. And then I saw him and he got out of whatever halfway house or whatever. And he did well. And then like a couple of weeks later, he died. So, you know, it's just like, you just never know what's going to happen, man. That was a long time ago. And, you know, but every addict has a story. Every family of an addict has a story. And maybe it wasn't even that. Maybe it was something genetic, or, you know, there's all different things it could
just
be.
Like a continuous like abuse of your body, and then eventually just happens, you know?
Yeah. And I think generally speaking, if you take off like a month or a year or 10 years and you go back to it, what they say is it comes back. You start drinking, you can't ease back into it. Like, basically your body reacts instantly. Like, at the point where he's at, his body just looked at alcohol as poison. So he'd get such bad withdrawal. He needed it just to stave it off and that type of thing. So it's like he could have been maybe off for a bit, but then if he just like tried to get back into it, it would ramp back up real quick. So that's the cycle that's like brutal for it, you know. I don't know exactly. I just know he had like a lot of problems with dependency, like of drinking. So I don't know anything else about what actually, you know, transpired, but
until we go through something like that as heavy, because for me, smoking was never that much of an issue. It was a pack a day, but I mean,
that's pussy
Steve
shit, bro.
Ski liked to drink a lot. I'm gonna be honest. He hit me up once in a while, a couple times for a little bit of money to help him with the keg. We all remember the famous kegs that he liked to drink, and it's like he dunked them like a sports drink. I'm like, damn, this guy. And it's because unless you are dealing with alcoholism, I guess it's hard to tell how much is too much. I would hear Sorcerer talking on MLC about. He would never mention Ski by name, but he was talking about Ski, and he'd say, "This is too much. It's too much. It's gonna really mess him up." And not only that, I remember him, Sorcerer, saying, anyone in Ski's situation would need professional help to do withdrawals. Professional. It can't be cold turkey. It can't be on your own, unsupervised. It has to be supervised, professional withdrawals or detox.
Yeah,
we don't know what happened there. Yeah,
You
go
need
ahead.
yeah.
Tom knows about it.
One of those things is if you get seizures from withdrawal or detox, you're more likely to get them every time, like after you get one, or just like the pancreatitis. Once you've gotten it once, it'll start flaring up and happening all the time if you keep, with the abuse. So and that's a mind fuck in itself, because he's probably aware of it. He's not like, he wasn't a dumb guy, wasn't oblivious to his problems. He was trying to fix some stuff, to some degree, but yeah, it's just
I mean, he acknowledged it. He acknowledged that he was, I'm having seizures now. I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna die if I continue doing this lifestyle. So it's just not feasible. And like, child, like you said, like you're a recovering alcoholic. You've gone through this stuff before, like the signs, and I'm sure you've suffered through some type of not relapse, but like withdrawal symptoms.
Both, yeah, of course.
And like in a private chat we talked about. You said it's like literally like you just mentioned on this show. It's fucking hell on wheels. Like you don't wish on anybody.
Yeah,
I don't even want to fathom going through that shit. I don't.
But as a guy, I just pray his soul is at rest, and is one of those things. He was. We can get into like some of the Chad stuff. I don't even really want to talk too much on it at some point, but. Remember, Lil Mir, we had him on and Ski Mask, Chad and Ski Mask in August of 2023.
Yeah.
And we were trying to squash it, their battle. And Ski had basically from that point until now had kind of said like, hey, I'm cool with Chad. I'm a fan of Chad. I'm sorry for the Bahamas thing. You did this, that, but I'm sorry for this. And I just hope I know like he had been trying, like I talked to Vinny and he had been trying to squash it with Ski Mask for a bit, and I'm just hoping his conscience, like Ski had like cleared up anything on his, so with that, and so forgiveness is powerful, and if he wronged you in the past, just let it go is what I would say. I don't know. I kind of went off on a tangent there.
No. Hey, real quickly, guys. I can't be here on a little. I'll be able to hear a little bit longer. Where do you guys see the channel going? Because I'm not trying to get off Ski. I mean, we could go back to. I'm just saying. But as of right now, is the channel going to continue under the direction of Jim Stansel? Because I'm sure Jim probably has access to logging in.
He does.
He does. Yeah. So. Will the show continue as Ski Mask Collective? Will it be rebranded? Do you guys? I'm not saying if you know anything, but what is your take? Like, what do you guys think will happen to the Ski Mask Collective?
Wear the mask? Is that what you're asking, Rick?
Maybe not wear the mask. Just continue.
It was another Batman to you, bro.
Just continue the brand. You know what I mean? Like, well, you think? You guys think that?
It's like the Black Avenger, or the Black Captain America, like he takes over for the other Captain America dies.
Black.
Spider-Man.
I like Stansel and I like his sports show, but like Ski was always the main guy, and like I hope the channel exists because there's so much good content up there, and okay. I'd be happy with him continuing it on, but it's just tough, Like I don't know, I've noticed. I don't know if it's been with Ski moving and his setup, but he hasn't been streaming as much as like when he was in his prime and doing it all the time, and ball bag summer and all the shit that was going on in the past, like all the good shit, like when he was really in a flow of going like a couple times a week. It had tailed off, so it's hard to say where he goes.
They were doing the post up picture of your poop in the toilet. Remember that one? Log. What was it called? Something hog or log or something like that.
Logs. Yeah. Yeah. I had to mute him for that month, but yeah.
I had to mute him.
It was hard. Hey, I tried. It was like, all right, just took a dump. The log is down there. The hog is showing. Let me see if I can zoom. I could get both in without one being blurry or the other, because iPhone tries to like focus
Autofocus,
on one.
yeah.
I was like, how can I get both in focus? Hog and log. It was great.
You had a very
Anyway.
beautiful point. That will go on forever. Those pictures that he put on Twitter.
yeah.
Lemmy was sharing one of them today. I was like, boy, was not afraid to show his ball bag on the Twitter machine.
No, I respect it, honestly.
Oh, he loved little Lemmy. He'd be always like, I'm gonna throw her legs up in the air one day.
Yeah, she's a bad
Yeah, he
bitch. Just kidding.
A little bad. She's a little baddie. Oh, she's a straight up
She
baddie.
ain't no baddie, bro. What the fuck?
Nice.
Anyway, don't kill me, little Lemmy. You're a sweetheart. So, I do want to touch on something though. So, and I noticed this because I don't really watch Cardiff ever, right? I'm sure you guys watched his recap on Chad Zumock talking about.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah, like I don't watch Cardiff fucking ever, but I watch that shit. What's your guys' take on Cardiff's take on Chad Zumock and on the ski mask tragedy? You guys have any opinions on that? How Cardiff was honestly like, very supportive, very like, what, this isn't okay. Doesn't matter what you're like, what it jokes are, whatever have you. Like at the end of the day, this is not all right.
I'm kind of like, so I rewatched our episode from August of 2023 where we and it was almost the same thing that Chad had said about ski masks. So nothing had really changed on his opinion of them from over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I think it's bad karma to do that type of stuff. And I think it's bad optics for Chad. Am I angry at Chad for doing it? Not really. But at the same time, like Chad had done something similar that pissed off a lot of his fans, where he talked about taking Rob Saul's dog in a bet or something and then euthanizing it. And, like I'm not a super big like animal guy. Like, I mean, I have pets and stuff like that, but I have a family. So like,
well, you got pets, yeah.
There's a big audience of people who like that watch these shows who will like.
You don't call them your fur babies?
No. They love their cats and dogs like people, So and I think Rob Saul's like this. So he's when Chad was doing this, he ended up losing like a contingent of like fans, I guess. Not me, but this is just it's just another one of these things in a pattern of like
failure.
Yeah.
It's a fucking bum. Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, so I did watch some of the Chad thing this morning. I was because everything kind of hit really quickly all at the same time, and I'm getting started for the day, having my morning coffee, and I see Chad goes live. And we could talk all about the rebranding and all that stuff, but just taking the show this morning, and I get some of the edgelord aspect to like what Chad's doing. Chad is trying to get buzz. He's trying, he's breaking the news on TMZ, Zumock, whatever he's doing, and like just like that example with the dog, like he's trying to be sort of edgy humor, which there's a place for it. To me, I thought it was. See, for me, if you're gonna do it, you gotta nail the landing. Like you've got to do it the right way, and you've got to strike the right tone. You've got to either do it sarcastically or ironically or Irish wakey or something like. But I watched it. I didn't really find it all that funny. It just seemed more just outrageous and just and then desperate, and then it compound. Oh, and I'm not going to give any money, and I'm grifting, and that might be a joke to him, but it just, I don't know. It came off very, it just came off as tone deaf to me.
Juvenile.
Like didn't get it. Yeah, it didn't seem like it hit, and then I did watch a little bit of the Cardiff thing. I don't watch Cardiff usually. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan, but he does have his finger on the pulse a lot of times with all things Zumock, as somebody in the chat said. And, I agree with him. I agree that, maybe not to the level that Cardiff does, but I just thought it was a bad look. I thought he could have, Chow, you said it before. It's like, why not maybe do something positive, maybe bury the hatchet. It's like, yeah, this guy fucked me over, but cheers to Ski Mask. He was a crazy dude. It's like, Let bygones be
out.
bygones. Like take the high road. I don't know. We've come a long way from the Chad redemption arc of late Q4 2024. Like this is like the analogy I used. It might have been with you or Deb. I said Chad went from, if we're using like a wrestling analogy, he went from like the baby face and the guy everybody's cheering for to the bad guy in a couple months. Now he's like the guy that people are getting booed out of the arena now. Now he's like, get away, go out of town. I don't want to see your fucking ass. He's got go away heat like you wouldn't imagine. Now maybe that's good for business. Maybe that's what he's looking for. Because if he is, he's got it. Because most people are just like totally disgusted with what he's fucking doing these days.
Yeah, Rick, what's your take on the rebrand and what Chad's doing with this all?
So it's not even a problem with Chad. I say the problem with Chad is that you got to be funny. It doesn't matter what you talk about. It doesn't matter how you present what you're talking about. If you're not funny or, funny, then you miss. So when he goes on MLC, that's really the only time I watch him now. He could be funny. There's times where he rolls with Kevin. But when he does his own show, a lot of it just seems like a lot of repetitiveness, like a lot of stories being retold, and
sound bites and shit, bro. I know Win by Two. John did that best. He said, "What's with the fucking sound bites, dude?" You know, like
it's not even that.
Fuck.
It's not even
that, dude. That means you got nothing to say. You're always cutting through scenes and always doing all this and doing that. You like because he's trying to always think of something, bro.
And if you watch it enough, he always sets up he's like. He'll say "God damn it," and then he'll play the "God damn it, Matt." You know, the steel toe clip. Like you start seeing him almost like show it to you before he even does it.
Yeah,
I mean, he builds his whole show around like 20 different
sound bites.
Like 20 different sound bites, and the whole show is structured about get to the next sound bite, get to the next sound bite. Like that's all he's thinking about, as opposed to really making an entertaining show.
Yeah, I mean, he was dropping them. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
No, go. He was dropping what? I'm sorry, dude. I cut you off.
No, I mean, when we had him on about like I guess like a week ago, he was dropping them left and right. I was like, it was funny at first, and after a while, I was like, dude, what the fuck? This is actually starting to get annoying now. So,
I see him kind of like Gino Biscani, where Gino can talk, boom, 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 talk, and then I realize he's talked for 5 minutes, and I haven't laughed once. He rambles a lot, and there's a lot of talking, a lot of points being made, but kind of like Adam Carolla, the same thing for me. He talks a lot, but didn't make me laugh. It's been 10 minutes. I haven't laughed. And that's sometimes a lot. With Chad's show, I tried it. I was like there's a lot of opinions that you have and you're sharing. Well, you're not making me laugh. Unlike Brennan, that dude starts saying some funny little one-liners. I'm cracking up the way I used to with the Howard Stern show. Like he brought that back, that type of humor back for me. Now, I'm not saying it's for everyone. I'm just saying for me. So with Chad, it's like, yeah, bro, if you're going to talk about someone passing, at least be hilarious. Don't just be bitter or weird, because then it comes up, like you say, weird and off-putting. That's my take on Chad. I haven't seen it, but if he did go off on ski, it's like, you better be funny.
We got lots of stuff.
Yeah, I feel his aura is like way off, like lately. Like people have been hitting me up, like what happened with you and Chad, and
I want to know about that because he shat on you on I think our show. He said, "Yeah, once the show started dropping under 100 views, I was like, fuck this shit with Chow. Like this is garbage. We're done with this."
Yeah, so me and Z. So long story short, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, like but short story long. We're doing that show. And I'll say this, if Chad's watching, like, it was always super chill dealing with Chad. And it was super low key. Like, when we did the show, there wasn't all the show was me watching Ray and then taking screenshots of times when he said something that we might want to cover on the show. And then
it was low key. Tell the story, Chow. It was low key because he didn't do anything. You did all the work.
Well, no, I mean, well, I thought we did a good show together, and there's a little bit of work that I did, but it wasn't a lot of work. I'd listen to the show anyway. But anyway, we always had like, it's not like we would be like working and like planning stuff. It was kind of like, hey, can you do it this time? Let's do it. Boom. Great show. Awesome. Hey, when can you do it next? That type of thing, basically. And if I couldn't do it or he couldn't do it, it was no big deal. eventually it was kind of like Ray was petering out. So I started booking all these guests, you know, like Mary Jane, Lady KB, Ashley Cummings, Mommy. I'm sure Teamster Tim, Carlos Danger, all these people.
Yeah.
So we were just trying to fill the show, but eventually we're kind of like, hey, let's not do it anymore. So we amicably just like took a break. I'm busy with something going on. He's doing his rebrand. But another thing that happened was at around February or March, I was kind of telling him like, bro, this Ray is not like, it's not really worth like watching him for commentary, but I like doing a show with you. What if we just switched it to like late night call-in show, you know, like, because he had the Roadcaster and he started using it for the phone. I was like, why don't we just do it at night and we'll make it like a love line, like advice show, kind of
like Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, it's a good idea, and he's like, yeah, that's good, and we got basically I had been talking to Ashley about something else, and she wanted to get into podcasting, so I was like, why doesn't Ashley, you and me do it? You know, I can kind of produce, you do the buttons and the calls, and Ashley's kind of just like the person there to give a counter, you know, like the woman on the show.
The whole.
Yeah, so that was the idea. This is long before she did any of these shows, basically. She had done our show and she had done Ray DeVito, but she hadn't gone on MLC like for a couple years. So we were talking about it, and basically Ashley brought up like, well, how are we going to do this? Whose channel?
Pay me.
Basically, she started talking about how the money was going to get split up, and I think this kind of pushed Chad,
dude, she's such a Jew. I love it.
So this kind of pushed Chad into like not wanting to do it, which was fine. I thought it was still a good idea. I still think it's a good idea to some extent, but that little interaction basically. So it was dead in the water after a few weeks, and then it kind of got revived for a little bit. Like, oh, well, like maybe we can do it again. And he was kind of on board again. We talked about it for a little bit, and then Ashley, I guess, blew up, and for some reason Chad turned on her, and then I guess he turned on me too. So
I don't understand that, because I did see like you saw the post. Dan, you won it. You're the most grifting, you know, desperate individual incel on the internet. And Chow, I think you got what, second place?
Yeah.
So I don't understand the turn, because I never really understood, because he always said, like, I remember if we watched that ski match, I was like, Murr and Chow are cool. You weren't involved when ATP and I shat on him for being a complete scumbag, douchebag, you know, belligerent asshole. So I don't understand when he turned on you, because he shat on you, he shat on the ratings for you and his show, and he kind of made it seem a little aggressive and kind of like, yeah, Chow is just, you know, he doesn't bring the views. So I said, fuck him, because I'll just do my own shit. I was like, okay, you know, I let that fly. And then I see him post that shit on the fucking, you know, Twitter sphere. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck this guy's tweaking on Chow for. So what do you think brought him full circle to finally start shitting on you completely?
That was if I had to count like 3 strikes of like, you know, called strikes by the umpire, because I don't have anything that I feel like I need to like apologize.
Why are you smiling, bro?
Well, I'm thinking of the 3rd strike was your guys' show.
Well, dude, you weren't even in it though.
Well, I know, but
the
like
affiliation with ATP.
Yeah, just the affiliation. Like him and ATP have some like super deep, like
there were some good Germans
things
in Nazi Germany. I mean,
well, here's the thing, like ATP. Oh yeah, what do you think, Rick?
Yeah.
About what?
Oh my God, he's
I'm listening. No, I'm listening.
He's checked out. He's checked out.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening, but now specifically about what? About how he turned on you, or what?
Well, did you see the show last week? Because my take on what happened was ATP was super emotional about the super tips. And I wasn't paying attention all day. You guys were DMing, like, let's do a show tonight. Eventually, I kind of caught up on I never listened to all of ATP's voice memos, but I found out you guys are doing a show and you're going to talk on Chad or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I was watching it. And the way you delivered, it was like honesty. You were saying, Chad is struggling. He is struggling right now. you know, and this is like you were speaking as a true fan of like, this is like really bad, like to the levels he's fallen and all this stuff. And I think the truth and the authenticity you delivered it with just was so powerful that I caught shrapnel from it, because I'm like your co-host and ATP's like a homie. So
right.
But yeah, what do you think, Rick?
One of Little Mear's like 3 or 4 soliloquies that he did during that episode, which were like,
dude, I'll do it again tonight. I will do one tonight. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Chad. He's a fucking piece of shit, hot garbage human being, and he deserves nothing else than an electric chair. Go ahead.
I think what has happened with Chad recently is when he lost his Patreon and now his YouTube channel, just like Compound Media when they switched over credit card companies, he probably lost a lot of subscribers that he didn't even realize they were still subscribed. And when he got, now let's say he got, I don't know if he got his Patreon back as if it's active right now, but let's say with the new YouTube channel and all that, he might be realizing, hey, what happened to all my subscribers? Well, they're not going to re-sign if they're not digging you anymore. Maybe when you were more, I don't know if better terms with MLC, but just in the past, maybe you were more popular. They might have been, hey, I'm going to sign up to Chad Zumock's channel. He's popping. And if it's died down and now he's starting a new channel, they might be, I don't really care to sign up to the new channel. Guess what, guys? I was a member. I'm resigning. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I was a Patreon member. I was and a monthly YouTube member. That went away. I'm like, hey, went away. Oh, it's coming back. I'm not resigning. So when you lose that much money, now you're like, holy crap! No one's coming back. I lost all this money during this amount of time, and my people are not coming back. What am I gonna do? You start shitting on everybody.
That's kind of what happened to Compound Media when they changed the pay thing or whatever, and they had to like get all their subscribers. It's like it's like a gym membership. How many of us have a gym membership? We haven't been in 6 months or something, and they just keep the thing fucking rolling, and nobody's gonna shut it off unless you cancel it. And Chad had, and not that I'm not saying that a majority of them were in that situation, but there were probably just some people that, hey, I support the show, and yeah, maybe I haven't even checked them out in a month, but okay, I'll send the $5 or the $6 or whatever, no big deal. And then you lose the Patreon, you lose the YouTube memberships, which is a big thing. I think that was a big moneymaker for him because he had like 3,000 members or something at some point.
That's a lot. $5 a month. $5 a month. That's a lot. Or $3. So even $3.
20K a year maybe gross on the memberships alone or whatever. Those go away, and then I think he said it was 1,100. And then he came back and he only had 300. So that's a big hit. Now I would counter with that. A lot of those are what we call gifted memberships, which are not people that are actually renewing them. So those can drop off at any time anyway.
Sure.
But 800 times 5, do the math. That's not insignificant amount of money that you lose. Off your that pays the the electricity bill for a couple months or something. So that's not nothing, but I don't know. Chad, my thing with Chad is he says that this is his job. This is like what he does for a living and he needs this to survive. Well, if that's the case, then put in a little more fucking effort and learn how to be better at it, be a better entertainer, be better business-wise. The thing that he's the worst at is being a businessman. He doesn't treat it like a business. Fucking Melton, Carl, these other guys, they treat it like a business. And that's why they're successful. That's why it's sustainable. Do I like?
That's Carl? Why he's using their fucking super tips like a bitch. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't watch Carl's show, but seems like he's doing all right. So like that's what if you want it to be your career, you've got to treat it like it's your career. You can't fucking, the Melton thing. He gets the super tips, and then he's bad mouthing Melton the next day. He had one good day on super tips, and he's fucking bad mouthing him. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Don't bite the hand that feeds you, monkey.
What do you got, Red?
So I remember DMing you, Chow, one time after he did his rate defeat, or either I caught it live or I caught it the day after, and I said, hey, chat used the F word for gay people on your show. Mm-hmm. I don't know, and it's up on YouTube, and I said, I'm just letting you know, I told you the time mark because I'm like, I don't know if you guys want to edit that out because, YouTube if you guys get a complaint from a hater, YouTube might strike the channel. And so I don't know what happened to that, but what I'm saying is how do you, after you lose your Patreon because you're putting Stuttering John's child's name or mentioning Stuttering John's name on your title. Okay, let's say you didn't know how that worked, the terms of service. But once that happens, why do you keep messing around with names, Kumia's Cox? It's like, bro, just be as be as not anonymous. What do you call it? Like without. Just don't use people's names or company names or anything that can be struck. And it's like it just didn't click with this guy. I'm like, what? Like
Transformers and the title of your show. That's always a good thing to maybe avoid because that struck.
Well, like just him being that dumb made me angry. Go ahead, Chow. I'm sorry.
Kumia's Cox was objectively good branding, at least for the time and place. But what do you guys think of this new rebrand? Because as a diehard Z-Man fan, and he's still my favorite comic. Okay. I don't fuck with this rebrand whatsoever in any way. I don't like the vibe he's putting out. I don't like the new software he's using.
I don't like that thick gummy change.
What's the new
funny,
vibe?
But
what is the new vibe? I don't get it. Like, what's his new vibe?
No, he's got a new rebrand of his show is now called Hack to Destroy.
Hacks to Destroy.
Hacks to Destroy. And
it's the same show? Oh.
Yeah, but he's got a new intro and a couple new drops. And,
nice. That's hot.
But the problem is he was a master at like pulling up on StreamYard. You know how you got all your little video drops and different things you can preload in there? Mm-hmm. Now he's using a new software, EVMux, which for one is processing way too much memory from his computer, so it's slowing everything else down. And then he's running the super tip software that's also eating into his RAM. So he doesn't know all the like shortcuts and tools. So his show it's basically kind of ruined anything of a show that he was doing, where it was like quick drops and like, hey, we're gonna, he had all these things kind of lined up. Now it's like it's gotten very clunky and he looks very unsure and not very like mud sharkish in his like confidence, so
but he needs the EVMux though to do the super tips. That's the thing, because StreamYard, so that's a little inside baseball. StreamYard is not OBS based, so you can't do the super tips. Mm-hmm. So you've got to use an EVMux, you've got to use a Streamlabs or one of these other, or OBS itself. StreamYard is for boomers. I use StreamYard. It makes it really fucking easy to do. You guys use it too. It makes it really.
I love StreamYard. It's easy as fuck. Yeah.
You just turn it on. You don't have to worry about it. It's like, no frills. You can't really fuck
like a push to start engine.
Yeah. So I don't blame him. Chad should go back. Just lose the super tips now that you're monetized and just go back to StreamYard because to Chow's point, he did this rebrand and now he's trying to put his little things up on the screen and he keeps getting like an instruction menu that
no, he does not.
The audience and it's like here to move the video.
Is that what you posted on Twitter? That thing?
Yes.
No, bro. That shit was real. You didn't fake that shit.
Mux logo and it's got like instructions on how to move the videos around and it pops up what he's doing. He's like, oh fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just really funny.
Oh my god. What's up, Rick?
Real quickly, okay, if you're going to have a new show that's called Hacks to Destroy, in this Dabbleverse world, one of the biggest names is Shuli Agar. I know him from the Howard Stern show years, way back. Yeah, the guy, in my opinion, he has a show, he talks a lot. He can talk, but he's not funny. That's my opinion. And so how do you not cover Shuli a lot, basically going over his show to critique in this world of ours? How do you not critique Shuli Agar? Sure. How do you, every time Brennan brings up Shuli, Chad's like, well, Shuli doesn't shit on me, so I'm cool with him. No one's saying you have to shit on him in a personal level. How do you not shit on the content of the Shuli network? What's being put out
the
there?
One that had the pedo guy? Is that Shuli?
Yeah, the ISO was the producer.
The producer, yeah.
I've always
hang on,
Brennan. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're go ahead. No, Rick, I'm gonna go into something else, but go ahead and say your piece real quick.
Real quick, I gotta get going, guys. But Brennan calling Shuli directly calling Shuli a pedo is a big thing you should not be doing. One thing is to say the Shuli network hires pet. No, because listen to this. One thing is for me to say, hey, ISO is a pedo. He's convicted. He pled guilty. He's a convict now. But how do you Brendan, a couple times when he's lit up as hell, has directly called Shuli a pedo. It's like, whoa, bro, that is slander. That is slander. Like, I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's slander because Shuli is not one. He's not convicted. Doesn't matter that his producer is one and is convicted of that. You can't be throwing that shit around like against Shuli that he's a pedo also. Those are, I don't know. To me, that's like legal stuff now. But anyway, Chow, you were gone. But what I'm saying is, how does chat not shit on Shuli's god awful shows if you're gonna have a show that's called Hacks to Destroy? And in Dabbleverse world, Hacks, Shuli Agar is one of the biggest names. Guys, I gotta get going. Peace out. I gotta get trucking. Love
Thanks,
you,
Rick.
Ski Mask. Ski Mask forever. Smith County, Tyler, Texas. Thank you, guys. Bye.
See you, Rick. You're a king. Suck my dick. Anyway, go ahead.
Let me just answer on Rick. The whole Shuli thing with Chad actually was brought up in our interview or in our Chad versus Ski Mask that I rewatched today in August of 2023. And Chad, because I had brought up a question to him. If you want to pull that up, we could even play it at some point.
Go first though. Go ahead.
I brought up like, okay, well, like you recently forgave Bob and Shuli, and you had this peace thing, but you're not willing to forgive Ski Mask. So what's the difference? And he goes into it and kind of says, oh, well, like we had a working relationship before and we talked and it, you know, it was one of those things. So this unity with Shuli goes back, I guess it was right around that time we did it in August 2023. So I don't know. I mean, they had come to some deal, and he had actually kind of detailed it out on our show that time. And if we want to watch it, we can. But I want to welcome we got a new person here, Deb, who's an OG.
Monchieri. How you doing?
Hi guys.
You are beautiful. Little Debbie, thank you for coming on. I've never met you before. Dan talks very highly of you.
Aw, Dan's a sweetheart.
He is a sweetheart. He's very beautiful. Just thank you for coming on, to honor Ski Mask and to shit on the Neanderthal we call Chad Zumock. So
absolutely,
welcome to the show.
Lil Mir, thanks for having me on. Hey, Chow, old friend.
Hey.
Good to be on here with you for the first time. And of course, hey, Dan, good to see you. And thanks for sending me the link. I listened to a little bit of it, but I wasn't sure where you were at. I'm very shook about Ski Mask. Mm-hmm. He, meant a lot to me. He's a true original. He's probably my favorite person, or was my favorite person in this universe prior to any Dabbleverse bullshit. So,
how did you first learn about Ski Mask? What was your first engagement with him?
God, I was an OG. So when he did like the Burning Bridges after show, I was there. I lurked a lot, but I was there here and there. And then Ski Mask Collective came to be, and it was like just the most incredible show. And Ski Mask is chaotic energy in a good way.
Yeah, and Deb is an OG. Like, I remember you in the chat when there's 10 of us, and it was one of those things where recently, correct me if I'm wrong, I remember you always had the Ski Mask merch. You were like one of his biggest fans, but then he had kept forgetting it. So he'd always be like, wait, how do I know you? Like,
Yup. He always would forget. And then I'd tell him and he'd be like, oh yeah, oh my God. He forgot he sent me stuff. He sent me all this. One day he was on and he says, I don't like the WWE, but I got all this merch. And
what did he go to, like WrestleMania or something?
It was like maybe 2022, whenever they had WrestleMania in Texas. I don't know if it was his girlfriend. Somebody hooked him up with merch, and he had like a Texas kind of hat. He had a keychain, Christmas ornament. Yeah, all this stuff in a bag, right? And it's all brand new. And he goes, who wants this merch? And like one person goes, I want this. Somebody else goes, I want that. And I go, I want the Texas hat with the star. And he's like, fuck everybody else. I'm giving it all to Deb.
That's tough, bro.
Yeah.
What part of Texas you from?
I'm not, but I loved it. I'm not, but I know he is, but I just liked it because it had like the red, white, and blue and the star.
Okay, so you're a patriot. I like that.
I'm a patriot, damn
Fuck
you.
yeah, fuck
yeah,
Iran. Let's
fuck
fucking
yeah,
bomb
fuck
'em.
Iran, fuck them all. You know,
Stars
I
and
was
bras,
trying to
baby.
stars and stars and bras. I was like, you know what? I was trying to watch Karen Reed, and they're like, oh well, Israel and Iran. I'm like, fuck that. That's way far away. Let me see what if they're
Fuck
going
those sand jockeys. I get it.
But he's he sent me this stuff, and we started talking. And like I said, like Chow knows, I'm an OG. I was there when he had 6 followers, and Chow was there too. And he's just awesome. He is pre-Dabbleverse. He was a unique individual with a good chaotic energy, and he kept people on their toes. And I am really shook that he's no longer with us. And I'm gonna say I've supported Chad, and Chow knows that. Chow was a Chad supporter, but the shit he did today pissed me the F off.
It pissed me off too. I know everyone's saying, Ski would have wanted this. I'm like, here's the thing. No, he would not. You want to know why? Here's the fucking thing. And this is what tells me these fucking people are fucking scumbags. Exhibit A. You do a show, right?
Right.
AKA Chad Zumock does a show. Instantly, right after he does the show, he fucking deletes it off the fucking internet or whatever. I think he charged $51 for people to fucking watch it, like a fucking bitch scumbag, and then he deletes it, right?
All right.
So
It wasn't that he charged people $51. That's all he made off the show.
Gross.
Oh, that's what he
Gross.
made?
That's what he grossed.
Gross?
off of
Okay.
super chats.
Broke
He
vibes.
might have got
Got
super tips too. I didn't see, but he got 51 in super chats.
Nice.
Also, he could throw away fucking any semblance of fucking goodwill,
morality,
and just right out the door for $51. I was like, that's.
Well, he's a fucking whore.
I need a lot more to sell my soul than $50.
Right. So basically, hey, what's up, ATP? So basically, brother. Chad Zumock basically not shitting on, but making fun of, joking about, just just being a complete asshole scumbag towards the death of Ski Mask, and who has been actually a decent person, a good human being for the most part throughout his older time on this internet sphere. Yeah. And then he goes and deletes the episode, and then he comes back on Twitter and says, oh, it's just like, this and that. I'm just doing this because of this and that. I'm like, you deleting your episode and then trying to explain yourself on Twitter to, rectify what you've done tells me you are feeling the heat. You understand that it's a problem and it's an issue, but you're not willing to say it as a man that you were in the wrong, and you never will, because you are a scumbag. And like Dan, like we said last time on the show with ATP, Chad is such a broken individual who was raised by a broken family that he cannot socially and mentally overcome those obstacles as a functioning human being to be able to accept that fact and and rectify his I would say his mistake. And I mean, you see first in hand, he blames, he digresses, and he also pushes against people calling him out, and he can't take that. And I think that's a very telling sign.
No, I do too. I think it's always an excuse. So today I did watch MLC, and it was like, oh, Teamster Tim. It was all put on Teamster Tim. Teamster Tim said Ski Mask would have wanted this. He might have wanted some like shit talk, but not from Chad.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm kind of like, I wouldn't have done it. I really do look at Chad. I never was like friends with Chad. I've always kind of looked at him as like a collaborator when we worked together, but I've been a fan. So like, I really don't get like his new rebrand in this angle. Like as a fan, it's off-putting. The whole thing that's transpired from losing his money. It's like, I do feel, I feel for him losing some of this money streams that he's getting, but like the way he's kind of like transitioned when it was him versus everyone, because they were calling him out, it was kind of like a fun thing, and there's something to it. But now it's kind of just like devolved to, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the rebrand. I'll just say that again.
No,
No, I agree.
ATB, what's your take on
Well, the reason I
the
jumped
Ski Mask
on, I
shit?
wasn't going to come on tonight, but I actually, Alan Cooper, our friend, also used to work. He was kind of like the producer of MLC on the weekends for a while, and he's designed my new website. He was like, Ski Mask died, and like I deleted my Twitter. I'm just using my new Twitter. It's a business Twitter. I want to drop out of all this, but I was like, yeah, I want to come on and talk about it because I like Ski Mask, man. He was always nice to me. I know he had his issues and problems and drinking problems or whatever, but it's like, I don't know. So what was Chad doing? He deleted an episode or something. You guys are saying, like
yeah. So Ski went live, or Chad went live this morning, and it's kind of he was doing the teenage drill rapper thing of dancing on the grave of Ski Mask.
Yeah,
so
pissing on it basically.
Yeah, basically.
It's fucking disgusting.
Celebrating his death and all that type of stuff. And I think he's actually personally mad at him still, for some reason. But yeah, it was like in between real and fake,
Yeah, it's like the thing. My view of a guy like Ski Mask is, like, I don't think he's like a bad guy. He was just a guy just like a lot of demons, right? He was like an alcoholic and, had like substance abuse problems and stuff, right? So like I said, like I've dealt with some of these guys. I like, for example, Stancil and Ski Mask, which you guys I like. I have no problems with them whatsoever at all, right? So like I'm sad to hear that because Ski Mask probably wasn't even 40 years old, right?
He's 30, bro. He just turned 30 this year, man. Yeah. He's early, like 4 years my senior.
Yeah, you're right. Because I think when we had him on, or you guys had him on one time, he was talking about he was 28 and he wasn't going to live till like 35 or something like that.
It's fucking sad, man.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
like David, like.
And another guy I like is Vinny Cash, and Vinny would always tell me how Ski was like a great guy. Like he was just had his issues and demons and problems and stuff.
Totally, yeah. What do you got, Mir?
No, I was going to ask Dave. Like, David, you said, like, I'm not going to get personal with you, bro, but you've mentioned on the show before, like, I think because you and your father helped raise, I think he was your cousin, right? Or some shit like that?
No. He was kind of like my nephew. Or yes, he would be my cousin, yeah. He'd be my dad's nephew.
Right, but his family members were going through what, like drugs or whatever have you, right? That's why
his father got killed, and
that's a totally different thing.
Yeah, no, it's even worse, right? And then so basically he was like my dad's wife's brother's son, right?
Right.
My dad's second wife, and then he hey Vinny, how you doing? So like he was like my dad's like I said that, and then he's in Honduras, which is one of the most violent countries in the world, and his father got murdered, and my dad basically adopted him and took him to Canada. I showed the little soccer clip of him scoring a goal in the last show, right? So it's just like I'm always sad because like my dad is my best friend, and I don't mean no cheesy here, right? But it's like I'm always sad for these guys because a lot of them have because he told me this, like he had no relationship with his dad or something. Right, like I remember like having some discussions. So,
right,
and like, they're like, I don't want to get all whatever emotional, but they're all like kind of like broken people, right?
So you've dealt with death. I mean, you've dealt with like experiencing through other people death and whatnot. You know, so you can like see those things. Like I'm sure, Dr. Chow, you've experienced death in some aspect, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like Dan, Deb, you guys have all experienced death.
Absolutely, yeah.
Deb, do you have any stories about like some death you've experienced personally in your life that you would like to share?
No, not really, but
what's wrong?
No, we can move on. It's about Ski Mask.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just trying.
I got an example. I can just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Made me think of it. It was when I was in
Fuck
college.
You,
I'm a little bit older. Deb and I are on the older. I'm in my 40s.
You guys are old,
old heads over here. But I remember when I was like 18 or 19 years old, like just started college, and there was this really cute girl, and I was like flirting with her at a party. Lil Mir, we're not going into more college stories.
She wasn't a dude, right?
No, she wasn't a dude.
She didn't rape you?
She's probably one of the most beautiful young women you could ever lay your eyes on. And talk to her
as beautiful, Dan, as beautiful as Ashley Cummings.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay, because I have crowned her the most stunning woman in the Dabbleverse.
Don't get me in trouble with Ashley.
Totally.
Ashley's a saint. As long as you pay her $150, she'll do whatever you want.
She'll
Continue.
do yoga. She'll do whatever you want for 150.
Just like Chad.
But she won't like you if you got piss shorts and you show up at the door.
Yes.
Oh.
Definitely don't wear gym clothes to the
No,
first
actually,
meeting.
wrong, Mir. For 150, Chad won't do a good show. I look at his phone.
Oh, that's true. I mean, Chad is a fucking bum
Whoa.
scumbag, so, you know. But go ahead, Dan. You were saying this beautiful women that walked up into your graces. Go ahead.
18-year-old girl, sweet, nice,
So she's legal.
innocent, but like every guy that laid their eyes on her, was smitten with this girl. And I met her at a party, and she was friends of friends, whatever. And we were hanging out. Nothing happened or anything, but just somebody you meet, an acquaintance at a party, right? Somebody you're talking to, and she just leaves an impression on you because she's such a nice person, full of life. Fast forward a week later, so I went to UMass Amherst. There's this highway that goes out there, Route 2, and it's a 2-lane, goes one way, goes the other kind of thing.
Small little highway, yeah.
Small little highway out in Western Massachusetts. They've since put up a divider, but before they didn't have a divider. So it was like, if you weren't paying attention, you could go in the other lane. And they were driving, her and another girl in a small hatchback car. Long story short, something happened. They were going too fast. They tried to pass, and they got hit by a semi truck, and it cut the car in half.
They live?
They were. It was gruesome. It was one of the most gruesome accidents that's probably you could ever imagine.
Tell me about it.
There were, you could imagine it was hard to identify the bodies. Let's put it that way. It was
horrible.
The hatchback was cut in half. Anyway, it was shocking to me. This sweet girl had a whole life ahead of her. Just on a fucking moment, just a moment in time, it's all gone. And that's kind of the way I felt a little bit. I mean, it's a different story with Ski Mask, but I was just thinking about him the other day. I was like, I gotta reach out to him. I'd love to get him on my show. And then I wake up this morning and I'm like, he's fucking with me. This is a fucking joke, right? And no, it's not a joke. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And now he's gone. So it just reminds you of
that women shouldn't drive, basically.
Yeah, that was the takeaway.
That's it.
Girl drive back to UMass, smoking weed or whatever,
I know, fucking kids. But that is sad because that's like a lot. Like 30, 18, that's only 12 years, bro. That's nothing, honestly.
Well, like my dad had this girlfriend after he got divorced. Her name was Rosemary, and she was like beautiful. She looked like kind of like Elkie Summer. I don't know if you know the old actress. She's in Shot in the Dark, the famous Pink Panther movie. I'm sorry, she was like beautiful. I remember one time we went to a football game, and I was a teenager at the time, and I was with my cousins, and we were like actually counting like the amount of guys that were like staring at my dad's girlfriend. And then but she had a lot of problems. She had like an alcohol problem too, and she's from a really, really bad family, right? And anyhow, she was like 38, 39. It was like 1997. At the time, I was about 20. She died, right? And that was like the worst time probably in my life for my dad and actually myself too. So and especially too, like when it comes to these kind of situations, like, you go through your grandparents die. My grandparents were all in their 80s. It's like, well, you're 85, you lived a full life. But when someone dies at 30 or 35 or 25, that's what's really, to me, like brutal, because it's obviously a premature death. So,
Mir, you wanna welcome on another OG?
John, where the fuck did our guest go, bro? You scare him off?
I guess so, man. What's going on, gents?
What's going on, mate?
One singular lady.
John, where are you, in outer space near Mars?
Somewhere, man. Somewhere lost in the galaxy. What's going on? What are we talking
Not
about?
much, man. We are talking
about death.
Well, first and foremost, you've been on top of this Z-Man rebrand, like white on rice. I watched your show yesterday, and you made some very interesting points about the new show. And then of course now this comes up today. And what's your read on everything right now?
I think Dan earlier nailed it on the head. I wanted to give him his flowers, but he's not here. But I mean, there's a way to do it. I just found what Chad did to be extremely distasteful. It wasn't in, there was no
100.
comedy behind it. You know what I mean? Like, you could joke about death. It's not like it's a taboo thing, but you got to make it funny. You know what I mean? And I forget who said it earlier, but Chad was just coming at it from a place where he's still seems like he's pissed off about something that happened 3-4 years ago about this Bahamas gig, which is actually kind of funny. The whole thing.
Oh, it's hysterical. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that ski mask called the Bahamas.
Yeah, yeah, and got him kicked out.
Yeah. And by the way, I live in the Bahamas, as everyone knows, and like they don't. It is kind of funny because they don't do anything here. Like the cops here are just like to get my residency permits renewed and stuff. Like
right.
Like it's a pain in the ass.
You just have to show you're white and you're good to go, bro.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. And then like the fact that the police actually did something, I'm like, people literally run off the road drunk here, and the police are like, just get the car out of here because I don't want to do the paperwork. Like that's the kind of things that happen here, right?
It's like totally tropical, kind of, anything goes and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
so the fact that Steve Max actually got it, whatever the police or immigration or whatever on Chad is kind of
it's epic.
Yeah.
And also too, like this is again where it comes to Chad. Like one thing that Dan said in the last show was like how he's like doesn't do like whatever. I don't want to say lazy, but he doesn't do what he should do. Like in terms of preparedness, is that if you're going to be like say working at a comedy club here, you do have to get like a short-term kind of work visa or something like that. And maybe he didn't do that. Maybe he just came down saying, I don't know the details of the situation, but maybe he just came down and just like went to the local there's a comedy club in Atlantis. I think that was the club that he was working at. And maybe he just came down and did it. And then like he didn't really have any paperwork and stuff. And by the way, that's one reason I don't really want to do a comedy show down here. Actually, used to talk about doing it with Chad and getting Florentine and some people down here. Because I'm like, I have to get all these short-term work visas and it's like a pain in the butt. And I don't really want to do it. It's not for 50 people to fly to the Bahamas. It's just not. It's not worth it, right? So, and then you got the Melton factor where like his stupid fans will call in and like try to like ruin the event. So it's just like it's not worth
Fucking Melton, dude. Scumbag. True scumbag.
Keto. No, but
hey, I'm like
What?
doing this. I got a shark onion hat on.
God, you're disgusting.
I know. Kick me off now. Anyway, I just wanted to say though, I'm like so excited to meet. I've already met Wimby, and I know the rest of you, but I'm excited to meet David Skarica, Addicted to Profits.
He's a legend.
He is a legend, OG.
Yeah.
I
watched
watched
my Eddie George jersey today, Chow, and just for you guys.
and I watched Wonton Dawn.
Yeah.
So I saw that whole
those are the
thing.
best videos ever, man.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in the Dabbleverse that actually has real views on videos.
That's right. Look at John.
Now you sound like Chad now here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not a guy, that Dan. He's not a guy. He's nothing, man.
You're not good at this.
You're not good at this. You and those little shows like Win by Two. All right.
Bottom dwellers, you win by 2 and nice podcast, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Well, one of his things forever has always been like everyone's doing everything for attention, like going after him.
Yeah,
Like he accused me, all of us, I guess, last week, Lil Mir, for doing a show to get money and attention off of him. But like just days before that, you guys had given him a bunch of money, and we're not even monetized. So, and we don't even care if people watch it. We just do it for fun. So,
You know how much money I've made off the show? It's like, it's like.
Yeah, so it's always his go-to. Everyone's doing it. They just want attention and money.
Well, I mean, in a way, man, I mean, everyone's doing it for attention. You wouldn't be broadcasting yourself on the internet if you weren't doing it for some sort of attention. I mean, sure, there's some sort of like, yeah, I'm doing this as a hobby. I like doing it. It's a passion of mine or whatever. But at the end of the day, there's some sort of, I want people to hear what I'm saying.
No, I agree. But I mean, that's just like a general rule for everyone.
Right. But I'm saying when Chad says that, it my head explodes. I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Like you're the perfect person. You're basically describing yourself, and that's what he's been doing as of recently. It's just the most clearest form of projection. It's like what Aaron from Steel Toe does. It's just they project outward how they feel about themselves onto everyone else. It's insane, really.
No, totally. So
totally, bro.
Okay.
Wait, John, your mothership is actually just
I was just
60
gonna
inch
say
screen
it.
behind you.
The curtain has
No,
been
no, no,
pulled
no.
on.
Oh, you scared him off now. I was
No, no,
Dan,
no,
you
no,
read
you-
my mind. I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Blew it up.
you're not in a spaceship.
No, just go
Everyone
back.
needs to calm down. Calm down. All right.
Take a deep
He's-
breath.
I know,
Take a
I
deep
He's
know.
having technical difficulties. Let him get his shit together. But I do want to dive back. Let's digress for a second. I do want to dive back into the whole ski mask thing. Okay.
Okay.
And Dan, I think and I do want to do a shout out to Zumock, Chad Zumock. I forgot on Twitter. Am I saying his name right?
Chad
Yes.
Zumock, yeah, he's like a big Chad enemy,
Yeah.
as a fan. So
Yeah, and Chad
Other-
Zumock, you're an OG, you're tough, you're clutch, and I'd let you suck my nuts. But
Jesus.
Wow.
I wanted Dan. I know he sent you the video via email. Could you pull that up? Because I want to watch this, what he clipped together for us for this show specifically, which makes him so much of an OG.
Okay, can how do I have it in the studio? Can I?
Oh yeah,
present
I
it?
got you, buddy. I got you, sir. No problem. Here we go. There we go. Let's watch this real quick, guys.
All right, let me see if we can.
Let's get our
Zumock
takes on this.
exclusive.
My name is Chad Zumock. This just came across my desk late last night. Kevin Shackelford, aka Ski Mask from the Ski Mask Collective Show, is no longer with us.
Soundbite.
I love that he has to do like the explosion for a little bit of extra effort. Or
You guys aren't
such a
fan of the
fag.
sound bites? You know,
John, stop now.
I'm just getting started, man. I'm just getting.
Oh God. Go ahead.
Ski Mask was found dead
That echo.
day after Father's Day by his father, of all people. The cause of death, obviously, drugs and alcohol.
Good
And,
assumption.
This is like Lou Gehrig in Yankee Stadium. This
you know how I
echo.
would react if I died. We all know how we react.
Deb, was that during your time period?
Heavy heart.
No, thank you.
Because I know his family's going to be watching his mother.
It was a good joke.
I loved it.
Honestly, from
No, you didn't.
deep
All right,
down,
now be
I know
quiet.
I'll be right back. I'm listening.
Unwritten. Yeah.
boom, 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 and then what's that show? That's Family Feud. Is that the Family Feud music that he plays there? Chow, you would know probably.
I think that's
whatever
the
it is.
music. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
Family
you
Feud.
old heads. Yeah.
Price is Right, isn't it? Price is Right.
Might be
Come on
Price is Right.
down. Okay.
Right,
All right.
coming
maybe
down
it
is
is.
Price is Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll hang up and listen. I'll be right back.
All right. Peace.
Bye, Aaron. Bye, Kevin. Bye, Ski Mask. You're a fucking asshole to me. You're a piece of shit. As you all remember, Let's Play his greatest hits. He put my phone number, my old phone number out on there, on the internet, on Twitter, on Reddit. He had me in a Bahamas police station for over 6 hours. I almost got deported because of him. I can't work the comedy zones because of him. So
Can someone explain the comedy zones thing for me? Like, so he's excommunicated from the comedy zones because of Ski Mask. I find that hard to believe that he can't get stand-up gigs because of Ski Mask. Am I missing something here?
Did that have to do with the thing with Chrissy too? Like, I know at one point Chad was accusing Ski Mask of being Chrissy and Frank's like henchmen. And then I remember another time Chrissy and Frank had supposedly got him banned from some comedy clubs, but I don't know the names of the clubs or how, if it's Comedy Zone or which one it was, but that's the only thing I can think of. Because if you go back and watch the old stuff, like the main thing that really set them apart or set them off on each other was the Bahamas thing, and then the girlfriend wife thing with his friend and him and Chad threatening to go after them or something. I don't know. So I don't know exactly what it was.
Honestly, I think that's kind of gay on what do you call it? Ski Mask part. Honestly, I do agree with Chad on that.
Of getting a hold of the plate. Yeah,
I
agree.
think that's a kind of fag move. I mean, if you watch back on Ski Mask versus Chad, I was all against Ski on that. I was like, I'm gonna be honest, even though he's fucking dead, I'm like, dude, you're still a bitch on that point. Like,
Well, I do think calling the Bahamas authorities is ridiculous. Like, I think, like
that's what Mir's saying.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was joking about it earlier, but that is like.
It is right. It is insane. But Chad was coming at it from a place of he was going to dox. The way I understand it, he was going to dox Ski Mask's girlfriend, her job, try to get her fired, and these are things Chad has done to people in the past. So you know what I mean. It's for Ski Mask to retaliate like that. I mean, is it wrong? Did he cross the line? Probably, yeah. But Chad shouldn't be threatening to dox people. I mean, what are you doing? You're a comedian. Just go about your business.
Roll with it.
Exactly. Make a joke. I mean,
John, but this is why
pick up a pen.
This is why I'm like done with the whole thing. I'm just.
You love it, Addicted to Profits.
You
do love it.
Can we get Wendy's audio a little louder?
Yeah, John, can you roll up your audio, bro?
Yeah, your audio.
Oh yeah. I got you.
And John, you're always talking about everyone else's technology is shit. Come on.
Oh,
wow.
Whoa. He's getting new animes.
There's those sound bites, baby.
Is that any better?
Yeah, you're perfect.
All right.
Yeah, you're good. All right, continue playing this garbage.
We had 7 clubs. I could not work because of his prank. So with that being said, go fuck yourself. I hope you burn in hell. And you won't be missed. And I just want to put it out there. If anybody wants to donate today, there's obviously supertip.gg, Z-Man, Super Chats. 100% of the proceeds are going to me. Fuck his family. Fuck them. All the work that he fucked me over on with the comedy zones. And if you would like to put something in a super tip in memoriam about him so his family could see, that'd be great. Or a super tip, a voice chat.
Look at this guy fucking beg, bro. He's like the Salvation fucking Army. He's like Goodwill.
Pause it for a sec.
This is worse than Steel Toe at this point. Super tips, super chats, Venmos,
So can just
PayPal.
please, super tip, super chat
Geeky
me. I need it.
bucks.
But
Yeah.
guys, wasn't he remonetized? I got a thing in my email because I was subscribing to Chad that said that my thing was renewed.
Yeah, he turned it back. He turned it back on. He toggled it back on because he figured out how to get super tips. So now he's got to layer on another level of things. So
okay.
And then he woe is me. I lost it. Yeah, you lost it. Of course you did.
I credit Mir for it getting turned back or reactivated, because if you watch back on that Sunday night stream, Mir said he praised to God that he gets his YouTube back, and he was genuine in that, and he prayed that night, and the next day his YouTube came back. So
I Catholic.
I think if anything, like
what's so funny,
Chad should show a little bit of reverence. And ATP, by the way, turn off your echo or mute when you're not talking.
Oh, sorry. I have my fan on. Sorry about that. I'll turn it off.
I know it's hot.
No, it's not the fan. I think it's like because you don't have headphones, right? ATP.
It's echoing, bro.
Okay. I'll just turn it off.
You can turn off echo cancellation,
out, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a tent house.
I don't have my mic plugged in either, so I'll turn it off.
Yeah, just mute or go into the settings and do echo cancellation. But yeah, I think that's why Z was bouncing back. But
yeah, now play it real quick, Dan. Let's hear it now.
Is Honor Singh Ski Mask?
That was not it.
We are totally grifting off his death. I'm totally 100% grifting off his death.
You got it.
Yeah.
Are we sure it's not the video?
That's probably the fucking video. You know what? I take back the hype I gave to Boomstock Zock, or where the fuck his name is. You're garbage, bro. You clip this shit like a fucking noob. All right? That's all I gotta say. You're a fucking bitch. Now continue.
Jen Uncle Vincent.
Ski Mask is with me. I asked for cash and puss, but you send me this ball back.
No, Ski Mask is in hell.
Who clipped this shit?
Heaven. Again,
Is it not coming through well?
it's skipping a little, but I don't know.
It's all right. I can hear the
Might
audio.
be my fucking internet. I don't know. Maybe it's my fucking connection. I don't know.
It's all right.
The audio's fine. It's just the video's kind of choppy.
Yeah, it's all
Sorcerer
right.
being the class act that he is. Of course, he's gonna do the nice thing, the right thing. His family will see this, Sorcerer. So that was very nice of you, very kind that you sent me $5 because we are grifting off his death. And I don't feel bad. He honestly got me banned from all the comedy zones for that stunt in the Bahamas when they were about to deport me.
Can I just say one thing about this comedy zone shit?
Sure.
So Chad loves to talk about this like inside baseball comedy shit that no one fucking understands what he's talking about. He had one comment today on MLC, when I was watching. He was going back and forth with Stevie Lou, and he says, "You're just jealous of me because you never get invited to comedy condos. You don't get to stay at the comedy condo." I was like, there is nobody other than middlers and open micers that are jealous of fucking staying at a comedy condo. Like,
because they're all broke, bro. They all gotta band together to fucking pay for one fucking Airbnb.
Like, if you hear these old Jim Florentine stories of comedy condos, like these guys like jizz everywhere and they leave like shit in fucking pickle jars in the kitchen, and then
they double decker in the toilets. It's disgusting.
They live in fucking filth. And Chad's like, yeah, well, I get fucking comedy condos wherever I'm on the road in the 7 zones of the
7 rings of hell.
Zones are.
There's one thing I wish I would have done to Ski Mask.
Fuck them.
Chad's cool new drop.
All my
Give me something to break. Bring it back to like 94 or whatever that's from,
I mean, you can't you can't be cool when you're trying to like beat up a puppet. It doesn't work.
No, you're a fag.
People are falling. I feel so bad. I really do. With heavy heart. I'm doing the show with a heavy heart. Diener says this is gross. I'm not going to argue that one bit. Mindiggity says, Chad, do what's right. Pay everyone who picked him their $500. Yeah, okay, give me $500. Mindiggity.
So this guy, Chad, did a fucking death pool, and he let people pick the same person. Oh yeah, let me take Ski Mask. So like 3 people pick Ski Mask, and now they're fighting over who gets the $500. Meanwhile, Chad never intended to pay anyone.
Why would he?
Oh, yeah, I got at least a year before anybody croaks, and then a month later, somebody, or two weeks later, somebody dies.
I've heard Chad lives in Section 8 housing, so I don't know.
Who were the winners from the death pool? It was Doodle, I think, was one, and then there was somebody else.
Was it
Lady
Beloved
KB? Lady KB was one.
Oh, so it's a 3-way split.
Yeah.
I thought there was some. Okay, so we need confirmation of Lady KB, Doodle, like if you guys actually receive this money. And I know you might be Chad fans, but I mean, you need to do it for the truth. The truth must prevail in this situation.
He has to pay somebody. I'm sorry. Somebody's getting paid $500 for fucking this jacked up death pool.
He kind of has to pay them all because he never set down rules that like, oh, the first person that says him is the one that gets him, and everybody else has to pick somebody else. He just kept taking, super chats toward it, and he let multiple people pick. So now he's on the hook for every, I guess right now there's 3 people. He's on the hook for all 3.
$1,500. So yeah, he needs to pay out $1,500.
Well, that was it. That was the thing. There's no rules to the game. So like early on in the game, I said, I'll just take everyone and within the next year. Because he was letting people vote. Like I choose these 3 people with a $2 super chat within 5 years. And then other people, it was so disorganized and fake, or I don't know. Like, I don't think he's going to pay anyone, to be honest.
No, I mean, John knows best. He tried doing a show, setting up a show or an event with him. It's a complete shit show no matter what, whenever you're dealing with some type of organization with Chad. Like,
yeah, can we ask Winby about this? So Chad did next to no work on the Atlantic City thing, right? You did all the logistical work, right?
The only thing, yeah. Well, the only thing he was really set up to take care of was establishing and locking down the venue, which completely fell through at the end of the day. So, but I mean, I was bringing.
It's not hard to do,
right? Look, and I know people, whatever they want to talk shit about. Why would I ever team up with Chad? It wasn't necessarily a team up. It was a job, and I lived like 30 minutes away from the casino, so I looked at it as a job. But as far as what Chad was bringing, all he had to do was basically just lock down the venue. That's it. And that
like a wedding DJ gig for you. Like that's, I mean, it was just like a gig, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just push play on the fucking computer and you're good, bro, on iTunes.
Right. So yeah, that complete. I mean, I was making fun of Chad well before that, And then that just really set me off into like, it just left a poor taste in my mouth after that, because you're
It's
promising.
not hard. It's not hard,
Well, it's not
dude.
hard, and it's like you're promising, you're charging people to come out. People were coming from all over.
Yeah.
The country, out of the country. I heard there was 3 people that came from China. They had to get special vaccines.
Fuck.
So, it's just like, to let everyone down. And Chad has always been famously on the record saying, I'm doing it for the fans.
I don't care.
Right. It's just a joke.
Doodle's in the chat. Doodle, defend your boy.
No,
Come on.
no, like you said perfectly right there, John. It's we're doing it for the fans. Like he said, a ski mask. When I kind of like grilled ski mask about their MLC not taking off after they were hitting that 1,000 pier pinnacle or whatever they happy with views. But at the same time, Chow mentioned to Z-Man on that show, he's like, your rebuttal for most things when people come at you is, oh, I don't care. It's whatever. I don't give a fuck. So it's like, dude, you can't have your cake and eat at the same time. Like you can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And John, you nailed it on the head right there. Like,
and John, by the way, with that failed show, I remember I told you at the time, like, you're an Eagles fan, right? That was a weekend of the Super Bowl.
No
They
birds.
kicked the shit out of the Chiefs, who I fucking hate because I'm a Raiders fan. And it's like it should have been like a great weekend for you, but instead it was a terrible weekend because the whole thing was a cluster, fuck in AC.
Yeah, it was just nothing but headaches. And I remember I was on with Chow with the Ray DeVito show, the show that's no more, rest in peace. But I was on that show, and I remember telling Chad, I'm like, listen, because at the time the biggest hold up was if Kevin was going to do the show or not. And I'm like, well, with or without Kevin, we should just go on and do a show. You still have an audience coming. They still paid for a show. Let's just do something. You know what I mean? Instead of doing what exactly happened, a show from, like, I don't want to rehash the whole Atlantic City thing, but it's,
no, you're good. Yeah.
You get my point. And it's just frustrating, but
yep. Push play. Yeah.
It was my money that I put up. Nobody, I didn't have Permaseal finishing. I didn't have Gustav. I didn't have Borgo fronting the money. It was
Borgo still thing.
This is a celebration of life today, so we got to celebrate. Every time you super chat, we're going to celebrate with fireworks. There. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be like an EV Mux thing, right? Where you can do the fireworks.
Well,
He's the fireworks download.
He's going so heavy into like everything has to be a super like. This is I don't know. Like this is the grift like level.
It's Mickey Mouse bullshit. It's fucking morning.
It is. Where's the show at, dude? There is no show. It's fucking
Look at that
garbage.
fucking smile on his face too. Look at he
I know.
Grid. He thinks he's
the
fucking hilarious.
idiots like Doodle fucking pay for this garbage. Like, dude, they love this shit. They eat this up because they're mindless fucking lemmings, bro. Go ahead.
And balloons.
Look at this fag.
Like Facebook boomer tier shit right here.
MySpace.
Deb, shut the fuck up and calm down, all right?
All right, you got it.
Almost being deported. So I was at Comedy Zone. So I was in the Bahamas, and I was doing this gig. I was there for 2 weeks, and it was at the what was the casino I was at? Forgot the name of it. It's the one Borgo stays at.
It's called Atlantis, you idiot. It's like one of those resorts.
It's the most famous casino. Like,
yeah, I know. It's like, sorry, like fuck.
C-Max called in Bahamas because I called his girlfriend fat, and I was going to get her fired from her job. I was not going to. I never did. But of course, he was drunk, and he called the casino, the club, and said I was not illegally in the country.
it's kind of a good bit, actually.
The police department
Legally in the country.
took me into the police station, literally for 6 hours, questioning me, contacting American authorities, and luckily I had all the paperwork in place, and I had people confirm it, and they let me go.
There it is. Thank God Boozmack got his shit together and got the volume right.
At the Booker at the Comedy Zone.
No, this is terrible. Fucking.
They drove them crazy. They were going to have a comedian. They fly somebody down there. It's going to be a mess. So they just never booked me again. So fuck them. And that's what it is. Oh my God, it's Thirsty Stevie Lou.
Thirsty Stevie Lou. The guy who did a show with Ski Mask.
Yeah, Stevie Lou.
I just need to say one thing. Who's about? Next time you fucking do this, you just put it on fucking YouTube so I can so I don't have a fucking screen here that doesn't play right. Sorry, I digress.
What?
Ryan, we can just talk about.
Yeah, let's just talk about. I watched this. I mean, is that
and
all of it?
it's
Let's get
there's
that out of
stuff
here.
up. Basically, it's a lot of repeating, but he feels wronged about it. I want to jump back to something because that August interview we did, Mir, if you want to pull that up, we could even talk about some of that because
you got it up here.
one of the things that no, I didn't put it down there. You got to go search it, but I can talk about it before we get to it because
all right.
That, if you remember, Ski Mask apologized about everything. It's the same stuff. And then AC was on the horizon, the first AC or the second AC. There's been like 4 or 5 ACs where they meet up. And Chad at that time was so anti Kevin that Mir, you sent me that clip of him, but he was calling Kevin a loser and he's a has-been and no one in comedy respects him and all this shit on our show. And he was using it to belittle Ski Mask because Ski Mask was always loyal to Kevin, always saying, no, Kevin's still the best, all that type of shit. So it's crazy because it's like, as much as things are the same, there's these cycles of like them falling out and getting back. And the other thing I had already brought up was at that time, Chad had just reconciled with Shuley and Bob. And I think he had started doing that show on their network. Where it was like they're going after
the
Predators.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Jeez,
So
yeah.
John, what do you remember about that show, bro? Because that was
Not much,
something
man.
else.
That lasted 2 episodes and it imploded in on itself. I mean, much like every other Chad endeavor. I mean, all I remember basically though it was him, Shuley, Bob, and maybe someone else, and they were doing. What was it even about? It was about
They were watching
Hansen, right?
Yeah, they were watching like online predators get caught or something.
Dude, the irony in that now,
it.
the hindsight in that now with everything that happened with producer ESO is actually pretty telling.
What do you want me to look up?
Why don't you pull up that Mir Musk with Chad and Ski Mask?
Okay.
I would just type in Chad Ski Mask if you need to find it.
I'll pull it up real quick.
I do have to say that is a great episode, by the way. So
yeah,
Well, I'll make another drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go to that because we can watch. This is our attempt to like find common ground because at this time Ski Mask had started becoming a big fan of what Chad was doing, and he kind of was like, I kind of fucked up. I want to apologize, but
and Chad really went off on him. I remember that in the show.
It was disgusting, I think, at some point. Like, I mean, come on, bro.
There it is.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, if you want to go to like 1 minute 50 seconds.
Sure.
I think around that's when it kind of starts.
Right here?
Yeah.
I listened to your show, even after MLC.
Yo, were you legal right here, Little Bear?
Okay, so we got a little bit of an opening statement off the ground here, and we wanted to bring you two together because Chad, you mentioned something online that you wanted to maybe make peace with some people. I know Ski, you've had a long-standing beef with the Z-Man, so
yes.
Why don't we? And I actually caught Ski. You interviewed Z-Man years ago when Brian was.
Yeah, it was in 2020.
Yeah, so you guys have a long-standing relationship, podcasting too. So I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that's happened. Like you brought up a couple things, and Z-Man, I know you've brought up things about Ski as well that he's infringed on your career, I guess. So we'll get into all that. But
yeah. I'll be the first to apologize right now for calling the Bahamas. But the only reason I did that, Chad, was that you trashed Paul Finch's family. You said I have the text scripts. I don't need to bring them up, but I have them, and that was fucked. And so I called the Bahamas Hotel. Everyone says I called the comedy club. I called the hotel, not the comedy club. And I'm sorry for that. All right.
And how much was that gig for? About a couple G's?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks in the Bahamas, a lot of money. But like the fact that you brought up Paul Fens, like I don't even care at this. Who is that at this point? Like at this,
He was an ex-co-host of mine. You trashed
yeah, but
his
nobody
entire
gives a
family.
shit. Nobody cares. Nobody.
But I'm apologizing for past behavior. That's why I called the Bahamas chat.
Yeah, you realize that I sat in a Bahamas police station for 6.5 hours because of your antics.
Good, because you called his wife a fat pig.
Oh, so
That's
that's worth getting fired for and getting the account taken away on Twitter.
Bring wives or kids into the podcasting situation.
You can't make rules as you go. You drunk. You alcoholic who will be dead in 5 years. You cannot. No, I am.
That aged
I'm a
well.
professional. You're a handyman who just got fired. You're moving back to Texas. You got nothing, dude. Yes. You got nothing, dude. I know you're trying to be a shock jock because you watch Kevin Brennan. You're like, you know what? I'm just like Kevin Brennan. You're the reason why. As soon as I saw you, I got bad vibes. You got a bad aura about you. You don't have the resume. You got a bad. There's no resume. You're a fucking handyman. I don't walk into a boat shop and want to paint boats, but you walked into my arena wanting to be my equal. You're not. The only reason I'm here is because Little Mir paid me $200.
Rip.
I'm here for $200. I don't give a fuck if you like me or not or ever again.
I don't care about the money.
I do. I'm going to take $200. I'm going to wipe my ass with it. I'm going to like, goodbye, ski mask.
Bye-bye. You know why?
Why? Repeat something else Kevin Brennan said. Repeat something else Kevin Brennan said. Go ahead. Repeat something else Kevin Brennan said. Dude, you're playing JV freshman female varsity against a fucking NBA player.
High school joke. Shut up, Chad.
All right.
Oh, yeah? Compared to what? Compared to what? Shock jock.
I got a question.
Yeah,
Like,
where's your mat?
Oh, is that you, Chat? My bad, bro. I thought you was talking right there. So continue.
Where's your mask?
Well, in the past,
underneath the table somewhere.
So, how much has I think it's well documented that you guys have both struggled with the alcohol in the past. How much do you think your headbutting in this digital realm has resulted from the use of alcohol?
I think it's more the fact that Chad doesn't like me.
Wait, that's why you
drink?
I agree.
He's never liked me because Kevin.
You guys want me to
liked
pause?
in the
Just tell me to
beginning.
pause.
No, I just don't like
no,
you.
Shut up.
You're a no talent.
Wait, Chad, you gotta give us
I don't find you funny.
Hang on,
I just
Chad,
don't
you
find
gotta
you funny. Can you
can
please
pause
accept
it.
the fact that you're not funny?
I know.
Please.
I know.
You're not. You're
So this whole episode is basically some like this. So I'd recommend if anyone wants to go see the whole thing, it's great. But what do you guys think of like how similar this is to what is going on 2 years ago?
I just find it a bit rich that Chad calling someone else an alcoholic, and meanwhile he's bombed, completely hammered on that show. Holy shit!
Totally shit faced. Totally, and he's back on the bottle, right? I mean, I think we all figured that out. It's pretty obvious.
Well, and you see, Ski made a genuine attempt to apologize to him to his face, you know, because he's blocked everywhere else. And Chad was not taking it, and that basically continued on for the duration of the show. With
I think Ski Mask just like drops off at some point because he gets sick of it, right? If I'm
No, he did drop off. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Chad shat on Ski. He shat on KB, and I think I sent you guys that in a private. Dan, can you pull that up for us?
Yeah, if you go to 36 minutes, Mir, we'll get to that. If you just want to push forward on that.
Yeah. I'll play it real quick.
Yeah. So this
Man,
was
you vaping at the start. Come on, man.
Dude, shut the fuck up, bitch. Like, I mean, don't fucking hate on me, bro.
I'm vaping right now, ATP.
Yeah, you don't like
Wrong
fags?
Watch yourself.
I knew you're a fucking fag hater, bro.
guy. You
I
never
think
got
36.
36. All right.
Yeah, around there.
You're unemployed.
Yeah.
There you go.
By the way, while you're pulling that up,
Because I said something on
You're
Twitter.
a fat piece of shit.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh shit!
You ain't got no job. Take the hat off, you bald.
The guy who just got fired told me I don't have a. Okay.
All right, let's stop right there for half a second. Jesus Christ, okay? Let's stop for 1 second with you two.
Is Jesus Christ joining the show?
Shut the fuck up, you Texas hillbilly. All right, here we go.
So get Brennan in here.
No, I'm not.
He's in here?
Kevin in here.
No, we should get him in here. That would
I don't have his shit.
He's probably in here. He has nothing going on with his career.
Wow.
Kevin Brennan is a loser. He has nothing. You think he's a god? He's a fucking loser. Nobody in comedy respects him anymore. He's done, dude. He's had the same act for 30 fucking years. If you watch his specials and his albums, he repeats the same fucking jokes. He's a lazy fuck, and he hates when people are doing stuff. He tried to get me fired from gigs. He tried to get my YouTube channel banned. You're like, he's a god. No, he's not. He stinks.
Literally everything just Chad just said right there. You could hold up a mirror and replace Kevin with Chad, and it's like he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
Wild. I don't think he's aware of that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're all like that, so like I think that my new saying is, make America great again, is make comedians do comedy again. Just like don't allow them to grift on these shows all the time.
Make Israel great again. I get it. Yeah.
Well,
Too late, man. We're too far gone. We're too far gone for that.
John's an Eagles fan. He's hit, bro. No, but I mean, you see that. I mean, the video goes even deeper. Where at the end of the show, I'm not going to show it because you guys already get the gist. Though, Ski Mask does say, "Hey, I do want to apologize to you, Chad. Maybe we can like just squash the beef and just be chill after that." And Chad would have none of it, man. I don't know what it is, why he's so hell bent on not just saying, I think it stems from being abused from a child for so long. You can't accept when people are just, like, hey, I'm sorry. Let's just move past. I'm sorry I hurt you. But he's been hurt so much and so hard for so long that whenever you even barely hurt him, there's no coming back. You're just fucking done. You're dead to him. And he's going to make your life a living hell like his life was a living hell when people were hurting him.
After our show last week, he's like, you're the worst person ever. I'm like, what?
Hey, sounds like you're Brazilian bitch.
Pig, bro.
After I gave you fucking like $2,000 in last year and the worst person ever.
You paid him $150 to not play the video chats,
No, I did that text say, damn, dude, I would like to just go have a beer with Chad one day and just hang out, because this is all stupid. It's just like it's like retarded. By the way, Amir, your British flag got a lot bigger from that video.
Hey, David, can I ask you a question? Why were you so supportive of Chad? Like, why did you feel like that it was necessary to make the financial?
I just liked him as a person. That's really it.
What about an abused sociopathic pedo that you liked?
That's Melton.
Oh yeah, my bad.
What does $2,000 get you with Chad? Like, does that get you like personal, like private chats and?
No, I think it's. I have a thing where I think because I'm like so close with my father and we're like best friends. I feel sorry for these people that have no relationship with their fathers and they're like damaged people. Right. So
right.
It was like a weird parasocial thing you got going on where you guys have
totally. And I'm a little quirky and eccentric.
But you're quirky in a good way. Chad's quirky in a weird
Yeah.
I hate my life. I'm an incel vibe though. Like there's a difference. Like Deb, would you fuck Chad?
No.
Why not? What's wrong with Chad? Honestly,
Nothing.
and be honest, because I know your pickings are slim. So.
Oh, thank you. Would you fuck Chad? I've heard you
I
had
would've
like gay
fucked Chad.
fantasies.
I'm not. Shut the fuck up, bitch. All I'm saying is
Listen.
What?
Listen,
What do you want to
fuckface.
talk about?
Listen,
fuckface. I'm not a fuckface. I don't.
You
I
let
don't
a
eat
tranny.
ass. I have my ass eaten, bitch.
You let a tranny blow you, and you liked it, and that's okay. I respect that.
Whoa, wait a minute. You trans. Wait, I'm not calling you
come
trans
on.
because you're ugly. You're as ugly as that. A trans is.
Listen,
but,
I can smell you through the screen, man.
You can
Yeah,
smell me.
you
know
dumb
what Axe
hippie.
smells like, bitch. I bet you
Like
do.
what? Wait,
I
go
bet
back.
you get your muffin eaten every night by your lesbo fucking 80-year-old wife. All right.
Yeah,
Calm down
okay.
and pet your cat. Okay. Sit back. The men are talking. You should shut the
Yeah,
fuck up.
take a shower, dude. Yeah, go take
a shower. I took one today,
Take a
bitch. You see
shower.
my hair is fucking wet, you whore.
It's
Let's continue the
greasy.
show, though.
All right.
Shut up,
Anyway,
bitch.
fuck off. Now let's talk about Chad. Go on.
Yeah, don't roast me, you fucking bitch, cunt.
Mirror,
All right, let's go.
the pseudo gay shit you were talking the last 20 minutes of the show.
David, I will fucking roast you. You're a juice. Shut the fuck up, all right? The white men are
That
talking.
did make me unfucking comfortable. I do.
I looked at David's face, man, and he
You
was
knew.
like, you know, he was
I'm
like,
like, I'm 100%.
You know what, Deb?
heterosexual.
Amen to you, sister. You know,
All
you
right.
are a patriot. Let's go.
all right, that's right.
This is a moment of coming together, Mir, not battling tonight.
I'm not battling. I'm accepting.
I'm not battling. We're just like discussing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
but
Deb and I
Mir-
would make love in the back of the bar. I don't care.
Mir.
Now that Ski Mask is dead, you're the next up.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
Zumock,
Don't put that evil on me. That's actually evil as fuck to say. You know what, dude? That's some Chad shit.
No, he would like that joke. He would.
I know.
And Dan,
All right. Anyway, hello.
Mir. ATP, wait a
fucking
sec.
Clown Town shit going on right
This
now.
is. I know. I want to talk to Addicted. Yes. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
David.
No, Mir, I sent you a video of when we do get back to Chad. I sent you a video of Chad hitting on a chick walking by him on the street.
No, I literally just sent the same video. That's wild.
And I just-
Someone
the
else
best
play. I'm done
video.
playing videos. I'm done playing videos. Someone else
No,
play it.
Mir, you're gonna love this shit.
I know. I don't want to play it though, dude. I'm fucking hammered. I don't want to play any more videos.
know.
I'm fucking dropping the ball. Someone
All
else
right.
play it.
All right, Addicted.
All right,
go
you guys
ahead.
talk.
Addicted,
ATP,
how many
tell
football
us-
jerseys do you have?
I mean, what?
Football jerseys. How many NFL
Is
jerseys?
that better, Cindy?
7 or
Is that
8?
better?
7 or 8. So
I'm
Eddie
sorry,
George.
I was yelling at Mir.
Eddie George. He's actually from Philadelphia.
Nice.
John,
George was a stud. What you got, Mir?
John, bro, you ready for a fucking repeat, bro?
Dude, I think we got it, man, in the bag.
Jihad.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, the Birds look good this year, man. I mean, I don't see anyone else competing with them in the NFC, to be honest with you. But
And we got rid of that fat Kenny. Now we got Tanner McPhee, bro. He's gonna be balling.
Oh, you
bro.
got to play this clip. Is this the one with the hot chick walks by?
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
Oh,
Let's
this is
play this
This is a
incel
Chad
shit.
classic. This is the biggest incel fucking clip you could ever find in
Hey,
Chad.
Put
I'm
it up.
out. Good night.
Good night, Deb. You're a sweetheart. I love you.
I love you too, little Mir. I like our little back
Oh,
and
you're
forth.
good.
You're
good.
awesome. Hey,
Peace.
Addicted to Profits. Nice to meet you for real this time. And I wanted to ask you before I go, do you still have the fridge magnets?
Yeah, man. If I wasn't holding my cat right now, I would turn my computer on. I'm looking at the fridge right now. They're covered in them. you know?
Okay, cool. Yeah, fridge magnets
I love my
rule.
fridge magnets, so you
It's
know.
old
Yeah.
school. It reminds
Yeah.
Debs of the 1910s.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
And you know what, little Mir? You called me a
What's
cat
up?
lady. The cat lady is David. So he was just
Oh, that's a good comeback. You know what? You
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
leave. Goodbye.
Yeah, kick me. Bye.
I'm not.
All
I'm not.
right.
You're a sweetheart.
That's
I
the
love
only
you.
Oh, I love you guys. All right, kick me.
I want to
anyway.
fuck you. All right, bye. All right.
I'm not
She's
logged
banned
in
from
on.
studio.
I'm not logged in on X on this browser. So can someone else pull it up?
Dan, get your. You
hold on,
know-
I got you.
Yeah, let John do it. John.
John's better audio than
You
I
guys
am.
all host shows.
Yeah, everyone hosts a show. So
I'll be
yeah,
back.
let
I'm
them
making
do
another
it.
drink.
Yeah, get boozed up for me, baby.
All right, we're not a chat show, but if anyone's got any questions while we're trying to figure out
Yeah,
technical difficulties, give us a holler.
yeah. Let me see what the chat's saying tonight. Anyone want to know anything fun?
Is a Cindy James? Is that your real picture, or like you a real chick? I'm guessing probably not. Usually, if there's like a hot chick picture, it's not really a chick. That's what I've
I
learned.
got
There it
There
is.
we go.
I got it up.
We good? Can I play it?
Yeah, you play, bro.
Yeah, play it. Mir, you'll love this shit.
Why it's pausing?
I want to get so fucking hammered at this. Let's go.
No, it just keeps pausing on me. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
If you're getting
push
DMs
play.
or something, it's all fucked like that. Let me see if it's pausing on me. Pause your DMs or something.
Chow, do you have it up?
Yeah, pull it down. I'll try.
While you guys are doing that, I have to apologize to Chad Zumock. He got his feelings hurt because I made fun of him before. It was
I
my
had the video.
fault.
Hang on. Let's just put him up
Put it
here.
on
Hang on,
YouTube.
hang on, Dan, you scumbag. Hang on, what'd you do to him? I had the video you asked for YouTube. You can play it off of there. The bad audio or whatever it was on your end. Chad Zumock, honestly, you're right. Dan was a fool and didn't do it right. Dan is an old, decrepit man, and we are sorry for the inconvenience. Don't ever, ever assume that we hate you. We love you. Right, Dan? Apologize.
I am so sorry, Chad Zumock, that I intimated in any way that your clip was anything less than superior quality. So
that's right. You
check
gotta watch out for these
Chad
clippers, bro.
Zumock on YouTube and Twitter X. Follow him, subscribe.
All
Get
hail
there,
Zumock.
super chats.
Oh, yeah, there you go, boys.
$50, all that.
Yeah. You should pay him, Dan, right now. What's your Venmo, Zumock? Let's get that going. I'm kidding.
Hey, Mir, read the next super chat.
We don't do super chats here, bro. We're not poor.
You know,
ATP, do you have any financial advice for raping? Chat?
Jeez.
No, that's no.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
The real question is, when's the Mir Musk conglomerate hopping over to super tips?
I'm never doing
it. Question everyone wants to know.
We actually make money, bro. We're good, bro.
Yeah, Mir, I'm not even gonna try to figure out how to play it off X, but
no, you're good, dude. You're good.
Yeah.
What was it though? So someone like explain to me what this was.
He wants to come on.
I hate Jake Hudson. He's a retard.
Jake was on episode 1, but yeah, like
I'm not doing that.
I don't know if he. So
there's already enough
video
autism on this board. We don't need any more. You know?
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to
in his yard. That's my opinion.
Jake's cool though. I love Jake. Yeah. Jake, I love you, buddy.
Like Jake. Jake's cool.
It's not your fault that you're mentally challenged, but continue.
Go check out Win by 2 because he broke down the video yesterday, amazingly. But it's basically Chad on his walk and talk, and like some chick walks by him, and he's like, "She's hot," and like eyes her out of the corner of his eye, and gets all like awkward as she approaches him.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
And then he like zooms in, or he turns the camera to her as she's walking away, and like at her ass. Yeah.
She was like 15.
Yeah,
No.
she was like I don't know, like didn't look like just looked like a regular chick, you know, or maybe like a young chick or something. I don't know.
You know, David knows best. No, I'm not saying David does that, but David, you have been, watching Melton act so pedophilic or whatever you call that word.
Yeah.
For the longest time. Oh, wait. Dan's got it right here.
Let me try to play it. Let me just give it a
Let's
whirl.
go,
If it doesn't work,
Dan.
it doesn't work. Let's go.
Everyone has a dog. Ooh, this girl is coming. She's hot. This girl is hot.
What a fucking gross man.
Wait, I'm gonna stay alive real quick because this girl walking by is gonna be really hot.
Stay alive.
Chad, guess who's on with Pat? Who?
Mir, I want to ask Mir. What do you think he says to the chick as she goes by? What do you think his like pickup line is? Hot, like
Nice dog.
comedy move, because this guy's a professional comedian. He does crowd work all the time. Hot chick walking by. What game is he throwing at this chick as she walks by?
Does your dog bite?
Okay, that's good. Let's see what
Not
he says.
bad.
It's not bad. That works.
Tell me. Tell me who's on there. Favorite sex fan? Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen? No. Hi.
There's the chick.
She's not that great.
Dude, she looks like a Midwestern Arkansas girl. Look at this fucking incel, bro.
He's gonna do it again.
Look at this guy.
That's the quickest way to get pepper sprayed.
No, ATP. David, I know you get fucking pussy on the reg, bro. On the reg.
I do okay. So.
Porno Dave, right?
Porno Dave. So David,
Yeah.
explain to me as a man, when you see a hot fucking piece of meat like that walk by you,
Well, look,
what
I don't
do you
have to
say?
do that. My pickup lines are always like, "I live in the Bahamas. Come here." Like, I don't really have that. yeah.
What if you're in the Bahamas already?
Yeah.
I don't know. You just kind of like strike a conversation, ask a few questions, buy the girl a drink.
You want to see my hog?
Have you fucked a tranny before?
Check out the watch.
Yeah. Chad loves his watches. You know,
I love watches, but anyway,
so
like
I don't know.
I just want to. Go ahead. What?
I just don't think I would film myself like watching a chick
women
on the street. It's like weird.
It's kind of like serial killer vibes, like you know, like you want to piece her up in your kitchen downstairs. You know, well, who has 2 kitchens? But anyway, like you see a man like that, and we all know he doesn't get pussy on the regular. That's a known fact.
I think he used to. I do think he used to, because
I'm sure he did. He was a young buck.
I don't think he likes pussy, to be honest with you.
Who doesn't? But I mean,
no, he doesn't. He doesn't like he likes.
Why do you think that?
Because he hangs out with Nick Swartzen an awful lot.
Yeah, Nick Swartzen does look like a troll, but I think Nick Swartzen pulls pussy though.
No, dude, he's confirmed flamer.
Really? He's a
1,000.
fag?
Yeah, oh yeah. Nick Swartzen?
Yeah.
1,000%.
Well, Chad said something recently that really like threw me off.
Continue.
He was fighting with Ash, someone on MLC, and he said he's been with over 150 women. And like
Chad said that?
Yeah. Or someone said
my
like
God.
he said like 150. He's like, no, way more. And it's like, to me, like that doesn't make any sense. Like unless he has like a severe sex addiction or something that we don't know about.
Like he's getting hookers every night or something like that.
One of his episodes, he said, I guarantee that I've slept with more women than Nice Podcast Stupid. I will put it to a bet that I've had sex with more women. And I'm like, first off, how are you going to prove that?
Right. How do you gauge that? Right.
How do you gauge that? What do I just give you like a number? Okay, well,
and who really cares? I know guys who are like, like the guys who are studs, but like maybe they're
you're 50 years old, dude. Like,
right.
Who cares what your number is? Like, that's just like,
and also
it's like a high school thing.
If you're like a dude who like say scores a hot chick and you're in a 5-year relationship with her, like that's to me more impressive than like just like scoring with random girls all the time. Like it's like to me that number means
I'm
nothing.
married right now, and you're a comedian. I would expect that you're probably getting more new pussy now than I am. Maybe, although it doesn't seem like he hasn't been seen with a woman in a very long time.
That's what I was just gonna say. When's the last time anyone has actually confirmed seen Chad with a female? Does anyone know? 5 years, 10 years, 15?
No,
Nick
he talked
Swartzen?
about that one chick that got away, Sarah. But other than that, I don't know. Like what
He
is
dated a school teacher like 5 years ago. That's like the last confirmed relationship.
The trolls ran off the
And
internet.
you guys ran her off. I can't.
Yeah.
Now I can't tell you how many girls I'm sleeping with because you'll ruin it. The trolls will ruin it.
He's famously said he's the what did he say? The puss slayer. He referred to himself as the puss slayer. I couldn't believe it. I was beside myself when I heard that. It's like you're 50, bro. You're 50 years old. It's insane.
Yeah, so I it's all this stuff with the rebrand, like the vibe, the aura, all that's off. So before I got to get out of here because I got stuff to do.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah. But I do want to say, like, Z, if you're watching, man, no hard feelings.
All hard
from
feelings.
From me, and dude, you got to change something about that rebrand because it's not going to end well. The direction, as a fan and a enjoyer of your show, you've got to change something up big time because it's
I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly, Chad.
Why?
I think he should continue down this path. It's amazing. Keep doing what you. I add more balloons, more confetti, maybe a birthday cake and a clown. And
Caitlin Clark fucking rocks or whatever.
Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
Dude, I think she deserves it.
Oh God.
And John, maybe you should add an Iraqi homosexual to the show.
What's wrong with that?
I mean,
No, I just don't like. I see Chad here like struggling so hard to connect with his base now because his base has been so torn.
You speak about him as if he's like Trump or something. He's struggling with his base.
I mean, he is struggling. I mean, dude.
You're not wrong. I guess.
Yeah.
Who's his base? Doodle,
Let me talk.
And the guy that faked what's his name? Bill from Jersey and Doodle or that's
Bill
his
from
base.
Hackett.
I mean, I used to pay hundreds of dollars to Chad just for fun because I loved him, and then he betrayed me.
How did he betray you, Mir? Can you?
I don't want to.
elaborate?
No. You gotta be an OG to know what happened, bro.
All right.
I'm not that drunk. I'm not that drunk.
We all betrayed ourselves. We were stupid enough to send the money.
Dude, shut the fuck up, David. Anyway,
I'm telling.
no, like Dan,
Come
like
on.
here's here. I know I'm kidding, David. I love you, buddy. I really do love you, but
I know we're
I'm
going.
talking
We're going World Cup in Kansas City next year, by the way.
you and I together, buddy, alone.
And if any fans want to come, they're not invited.
Come hang out. But anyway, so I want to talk about Dan for a second because Dan, you seem like an actual like. Here's the funny thing: like I'm, on and off as a fan. I don't think John's ever actually been truly a fan of Chad ever. I think he just covers them, and enjoys some of the takes, but he's never been like, like, I gotta tune in. I enjoy the show. I don't. Think
I tune in
like
for the
that,
wrong.
John.
Yeah, I tune in for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. Yeah. And David, I really never took you as a true Chad fan, right?
I made up with him, but it's more because
Just yes or no. Just yes or no.
no, it's more because like we hated Melton. That's
Okay. That's it though. You weren't a true fan. I was a true fan of Chad. I and truly enjoyed his show right when he got kicked off MLC because I really felt sympathy for him. And Dan, what you told us in your interview was, and John agrees with me, you did the faggotry vibe of DMing him to give him like takes on how to do his show and everything like that. You were being a super fan.
I thought we squashed this little beer.
we did squash it, but I'm just telling you, like I'm giving some back history here so everyone understands watching this.
And I confessed that was F word behavior. Yes,
right. Yes, like super fan vibes. How does it feel as a true fan of the show to watch this man turn on you so hard? I'm sure it hurts deep down to some extent, correct?
Well, what I would say is this. So there is some truth to what you say, Lil Mir. And what I would say is the trolling, the $2 super chats, that's my way. That's my way of giving constructive criticism. That's like, it's cruel to be kind. Like those little needles. I'm hoping that Chad opens his eyes and realizes, oh, Dan's right. Maybe I shouldn't fixate on this. Or maybe, maybe how much I made on Playboard today doesn't matter. Maybe I should just focus on having a good show. Really, that's what it's all about, So I would love nothing more than for everyone to have great shows. Winby has a great show. You have a great show. Everybody's successful. Everybody, people. Rising tide rises all boats. Unfortunately, Chad is doing the drain thing right now, and I don't think he can get out of it. I think he's spiraling.
Why do you think he can't get out of it? Why do you think? He's
He
been desperate before, though. I've seen him desperate, bro.
Because he can't pay his bills. He needs the money, and he's thinking every day about I need to make $100 today, or I can't pay my bills. And he's not making $100 a day.
John's sniveling in the left corner right now.
I was watching a little bit of Michael Ray Bauer, like talk about the Dabbleverse for a second on the show.
Yeah.
He was like, what the great thing of the Dabbleverse is? It's where all these losers who can't make a living doing other things can actually make some money. He said that on the show. And I was just like, yeah, Michael.
Dude.
That's like you killed
Michael Ray Bauer's calling us out now. Fuck.
I do want to see Michael Ray Bauer get up in those guts in this Dabbleverse thing. He'd be a good character to him and Ash. Maybe him and Ashley should do a show together. That could be.
I got a question for
both in LA. So
I got a question for John real quick. Clowns, Mint Diggity. Oh, dude, I can't right now. I for real can't with people saying clowns, fools rant, any of that shit. You really need to shut the fuck up. You are nothing. You will be nothing. You always will be nothing. You need to shut the fuck up and watch the show like a good fucking poor pilgrim that you are. Okay? You're a bitch. Shut the fuck up. So don't interrupt the show anymore and just fucking chill out on the fucking text. All right, bro? All right? Stop texting on your grandma's computer. Okay, you fucking cuck? John.
What?
That's epic stuff, Mir. Go ahead. Continue. You had a question.
I have a question for John here.
I don't even know what you were talking about. Like, I have no clue.
He was putting Mint Diggity in his place because
Mint Diggity's a fucking faggot, man. I don't understand why everyone's like, I don't read the chat. You know what? You should read the chat because then you understand who's a fag and who's not a fag. Everyone's a fucking fag somewhat in this chat, but there's a little, there's tiers to it.
There's different levels of the faggotry in the chat. Right?
There is. You know what, Dan? I'm proud of you for saying the fag word for once in your life, and I hope you continue to use it in your personal life.
The only
anyway,
good job.
I love Dan. Dan's honestly like Dan. I know we got off on the wrong foot. I know John covered it. and I'm sorry for being rude. I'm not kidding you. Like John, this is crazy. John actually brought me to the light of being too rude towards guests.
Did you get drunk and you act like an asshole? That's what happened.
Shut the fuck up. No, I don't. That's a joke, obviously. What I'm saying is, like, Dan.
That's the truth, dude.
What? No, be quiet. What I'm saying is Dan is truly a good person. He cares about Chad to some extent because he's a super fan. But there is an issue with Chad where he's going. John, he's not a fan, but he covers it. And we see where it's going. And it's not going to lead to alcoholism. I don't believe it will. I believe it will lead towards, when you become so immoral that no one wants to watch anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start watching those TV shows when the gays start kissing, you're like, ew, gross. It's starting to get to that point.
Yeah.
And they introduce new characters onto the show, and then it becomes a DEI rainbow
right. Dude,
coalition.
Like, you see the black person who should be white, and you're like, I can't do it anymore.
And then there's interracial stuff going on, and it just goes off the rails.
No, you guys think I'm crazy.
No, you're 100% on point.
Am I, John? Or are you just gaslighting?
No, you are, dude. No, I'm not gaslighting you. I promise.
Okay, then give me your take on it.
On Chad?
There goes your screen again, buddy.
Number one.
Oh, fuck me, man. God damn it.
God damn, this guy is, dude.
All his
I hate StreamYard, bro. I hate StreamYard.
I don't want to sound like, but I think my house looks awesome in this right now.
I know.
All right, way to brag, Addicted to Profits. Meanwhile, I'm having a tech malfunction.
Give John a second here. So, like, Dan, you heard what I said. I wasn't racially biased, obviously, because I do believe in, like, proper etiquette of, I would say, social constructs of genes in certain, film and books. If you're in Europe, you should be white. If you're in Africa, you should be black or, Somalian, whatever have you. what I'm saying is, like, what's your take on what we are just talking about? Because you seem very quiet, and I know you have something to say because you're a white man with a Brazilian, Latino woman. So you also have some kind of like girth in the game.
Girth in the game? What?
Jesus.
Tell me.
Are you asking for the color of my wife's nipple? Is that what you're asking for right now?
No, bro. I already have a Latino bitch back at home.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, like, dude, what was I asking? John,
about the girth in the game.
No. Besides, before that.
Oh, about how DEI hires are.
Oh yeah, you guys are laughing at me about. I mean, would you watch Lord of the Rings and see a black, gentleman?
No.
They're
They
Urukai.
did a whole series.
They're Urukai.
If
they
they make
Lord of the Rings, they were orcs.
James Bond a black dude, I'm not watching that. Like,
Yeah. See, David hates blacks, so why don't you guys?
No. I live here. All my friends are black, but it's like,
Sure, okay.
I don't mind
I've
if
heard
James
that one
Bond's
before.
black as long as he's not fucking white chicks. Like, I just want him to fuck other black spies.
Right.
And then it's cool. Then there's not that weird,
No, but
like.
I want an
thing
honest
going.
question from you two right now. Do you have an issue with gentrifying characters in film and in books? Honestly, as just a person, do you have issues with that or no?
I guess, yeah, because I'd really stopped over the last couple of years. I stopped watching really TV shows and movies for that reason, I guess.
Give me an example.
I don't know, just everything movies and TV shows and just everything now across the landscape of media has just become more of like a political message rather than entertainment. You know what I mean? So it's for that reason alone, like, I shouldn't be watching whatever it is. Let's just say it's Lord of the Rings or I don't know. What was fucking the big show on HBO? Fuck, I can't.
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Thank you. Right. I shouldn't be watching that and then have some sort of like, democratic
African Americans that just happen to be living in Europe with white hair.
Are you going to have white people play African Americans in Roots? No, you don't, Massa. All right. That's what I'm saying.
hey, Mayor, can I show a clip for like 20 seconds?
Yes, King.
But it's a good clip. This is like, I know we're talking about this stuff. Okay, I want to show you something.
Just show me what you want, boo.
This is what James Bond is supposed to be, dude. Okay, kill
you. Oh my God, is that
Mr.
Bond?
Hell yeah.
He's a
James Bond.
What about
Mr.
octopus?
Bond,
You
I
guys down
suppose
on
you wouldn't
octopus?
care to raise the limit?
I have no objections.
That's what James Bond's supposed to be. Sorry, that's my clip.
No, you're good, man. Like, I mean, like, do you guys believe women should vote?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think that might have been a bad decision.
There's arguments for both sides.
There's like, here's something funny though, because I know John is a leftist. I know he's somewhat of a tweaker, kind of like, you know, and I kind of get that vibe from him. He's not based like the rest of us are in the chat.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I know Dan's based. Dan has a fag sister. He's based. Dan, I'm sorry. That was a joke. Calm down, Dan. Don't leave. I'm sorry, man. Don't be mad.
You know that's a no-fly zone.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
I know you're pushing the limits here, but that is going to be a no-fly zone.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will not say that again, sir. I am truly sorry. I am.
Gotta watch beer when he's got a few too many drinks in him. You gotta watch.
I know. You know what? You know what Dan would do to me? He would beat my ass in a fucking bar right now. I know he would. Is that true, Dan?
I'm not a fighter.
You're a lover. Dan, do you want to hurt me right now?
No. I just want lines to be drawn. That's all.
I know. I am sorry. That was a very quick. You know, I was under the influence, like Zumock has been. I'm done making jokes. That was really out of line. I'm sorry. Okay.
Apology accepted.
Thank you. I'm truly sorry. I'll do anything.
That's growth right there, folks. Growth.
That is growth, and
that's
what
Chad failed to do with Ski Mask.
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
like, dude, like, I
too late.
It is too late. Like, I am sorry for being rude to Dan. Like, it was obviously a bad joke. That's what you do with your buddies, and they're like, "Hey, dude, no mom jokes." You're like, "Okay, I'm sorry." They say, I'm gonna get you with a Jolly Rancher or whatever have you, whatever the fuck they call it, on your leg. John knows all about it, him and his boys. But
absolutely Jolly Ranchers all day.
Jolly Ranchers all day, big sucks. But Dan, I just want to ask you one more question before we log out here, because I'm obviously hammered. We're hitting like 2:30 almost, bro. At the end of the day, you've been in like a Chad Zumock archivist. You're doing your show, Nice Podcast Stupid. You're doing all these things. You see the grift from Chad right now. He's not begging for money, but the super chats aren't really flying in. He's, shout on a fucking person who's died, basically. The fan base is split, all these things. He's rebranding himself. What you said last show was like, when you're 50, you can't rebrand, dude. You better at least have it kind of together, or you're fucking just done. You're not doing anything. So my question to you is, where do you see Chad moving forward from here as I would say, a successful or somewhat successful, position in life for the show to be popular again, to grow at least more than 200 fucking viewers in one night?
Okay, I'm going to give you my answer, and this is going to sound at first like Dan's being funny or trying to poke fun at Chad, but this is a completely
I want honesty,
serious, honest answer. Chad's going to go and get a job application at a local store that will hire people that are ex-felons, and will start to do whatever job he can do to get insurance, to get money. Maybe even to put some money away for Social Security, maybe even a 401k if he's lucky. He will get a day job so that he doesn't have to be an edgelord 24/7 and do 3 shows a day and beg for super chats and super tips. And then he can do it for fun and go back to having fun, do comedy gigs, live the life that you want to do. But just like Gino, I think, came to the realization, and honestly, Ray DeVito probably should come to this realization as well. It's time to get a job. This ain't working. This is not your career. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. It's something you like doing, and you can make a little bit of money on the side. It's a side gig. The comedy, the podcasting is a side gig. Get a real job. And that will raise your confidence. You'll feel better. Chad is a depressed person, I think, in my opinion.
What gives you that What gives you that vibe?
He has a quiet desperation to him that comes across. That is just there's something off about him, and I don't know if he's drinking or what it is, but he needs to get a job. He needs to get a job and then do this for fun, and then maybe, just maybe, if it takes off and you get on a hot streak or whatever, then maybe you don't need a job. Maybe you can get the income back. He can't live off of this right now. That's my opinion. And I think it really, not just for Chad, I think it's for anyone that's doing this. This is not really a job. This is like something you do a couple hours a day for fun. You throw on YouTube and you're talking shit with your boys. I know Winby said before, we all have a little bit of a narcissism because we want to be performing and doing it for people.
Yeah.
But most of the people you're looking at that are on this, we're not expecting that this is going to pay the bills. Like, we have other things other things in our lives, families, in some cases, jobs.
Children.
This really shouldn't take the place of a life. That's not what this is meant to be. So that would be my advice for Chad.
It's fun, dude. You're playing pickup basketball at the court, and Chad dunks once, he thinks he's going to the NBA.
Pretty much.
I mean, what else do you want? John, what's your take? Go ahead.
I would just say, watch out. It's false flag season, whether it be Israel, whether it be Chad Zumock, Kumia Country Part 2, possibly around the corner. When you corner an animal, and when an animal gets desperate, they do funny, wacky things sometimes. So it wouldn't shock me if he pulls some other stunt coming up here soon. He's losing a lot of support, like we pointed out throughout the entire show.
Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt your boring monologue, but
no, it's okay. I'm used to it, man.
No, here you go. I'm kidding, buddy. I love you. You're tough. But if you were Chad, John, I know you follow him a lot. You cover him a lot. I mean, both of you do. Here's something. I'm gonna ask you two a question, okay? Because I know you two are both like not Chad followers, but you guys, acknowledge him and you follow his shit. What would you do in his stead as your next move? And I'm John, you go first, and then Dan, you answer, okay? What would you do as your next move, business-wise, to push, your audience to get better and whatnot have you?
See, it's tough, man, because that's you're asking us to give Chad advice, and Chad, one thing he's not good at is taking advice. But with that being said, look, first of all, I would drop the super tips. It's not a good look. That whole thing with the way he tried to go about doing that was completely bitch made, cuckery, all the above. You know what I mean? So I would drop that first. I would do what Dan said. Now, it doesn't have to be a full-time job, whether it's you want to, just do like Uber Eats or, DoorDash or, sell fucking paint, door to door on the side, or forks
Golden
or knives
Corral.
or something. Golden Corral.
Yeah.
There you go. You know what I mean? Just something. Because you know what I mean? It's not sustainable, man. And once you start putting money, once you start doing this for money, it all starts to get fucked up, man. That's why
it's like music.
Right. You do it because you love it,
Yeah.
as gay as that sounds, but I
don't think it's gay.
Well, some people do.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. I drop the super tips and try to find some sort of or job. Same difference, I guess.
Dan, what's your take, man?
I mean, I think I pretty much said it. I mean, I think he's got to get a job. What I would say is this for Chad is, and I would also say this for a lot of people that do this too much. And when I say too much, if you're doing, karmic, that would apply to karmic. If you're doing like 2 streams a day, 6 days a week, once again, I'm not trying to tell anyone, this is not like advice. This is just my perception of things. If you're overkilling yourself, and you think like, okay, well, if I do more hours, then I'm going to make more money, and I'm going to do this, and you start doing the math, and that's the dopamine hits and the money drops and the things, and then it's more. I got to do more. Then I got to do longer shows, and I got to do secret shows, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. Take a break. Take a month off. Live your life. Maybe take a vacation if you haven't taken a vacation before. Walk away from it for a little bit. Clear your mind, and think about what you really want to get out of this, and what also, because for me, sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, I can't believe I'm fucking doing this stupid shit. You know?
Why?
Because it's goofy. I mean, I don't know.
What makes this shit goofy, bro?
Well, it's this. I don't want to come off as pretentious.
I don't care. No, dude. Go. Just say what you want to say. Imagine we're at a bar together having a beer.
You start being critical of yourself, and you start thinking, oh, it's like, okay, you know, what am I doing? Why am I spending 2 hours a week talking about fucking losers? Or why am I watching videos? And I mean, you have like almost like an existential thing every once in a while. At least I do.
What does that mean?
We're just you're like, is this a waste of my fucking time? Like what am I, or what, let me say it this way. What do I want to get out of this? Right. Do I want to evolve? Do I want to make a show that I can be proud of? Do I want to get better every day? Or do I just want to make like $2 and people make fun of me, you know, for an hour or whatever? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? What do you want to do with it? And I think, and let me just bring back to my whole point is, there's this thing called Kaizen. You know what Kaizen is, Lil Mir?
Is that an anime?
Yes, it's octopus anime and with tentacles.
Octopussy? That's a great James Bond film, but go ahead.
No, it's about every day you want to have small improvements. And then small improvements over time make you better at whatever it is, whether it's your job, whether it's your life, whatever. And I think this, as a hobby, you try to think like, okay, what can I do to get a little bit better every day? And try to use it as kind of like almost gamify of what you're doing, and say like, okay, well, what do I want to make out of this? For me, it's just like, I just want to have fun. It's a hobby, but I want to try to get a little bit better. I want to maybe start interviewing better people and interesting people. And I don't want to fixate on like just dumb. I mean, some of this stuff, like the Stuttering John stuff, I'll give as an example.
That's garbage, dude. I
don't understand why you would fixate on this guy and spend, these are 45, 50-year-old men that are spending 10 hours a week talking about some fucking drunk loser. Yeah. Like, if I'm ever like that, then I'm probably gonna go to the rope store if that's what I'm gonna make out of it.
He was good for one episode, and that's it, man. He's just a fun. It's like Andy Dick. It's just one good vibe for one time, you know. Yeah. It's like a standalone, you know, whatever have you. But continue what you're saying about.
And I'll just end on this. What I would say is, I think every once in a while you got to take a step back, analyze why you're doing it, what you're doing. Do you want to continue doing it? Like, I think Ski Mask probably, you know, and once again, I don't know what was going on, but he probably was like, what am I, you know, like, what am I getting out of this? I'm, you know, 20 people are watching me or whatever, you know, is it worth the time and the effort? You know, there's a little bit of effort that goes into doing this, even if it looks like it's stupid, you know, like you've got to, you know, if you're doing a shit, like, I can only imagine how much prep John does for his show. I mean, that's probably, I'm sure there's some days where he's just like, yeah, I'm going to fucking skip it this week because I just don't want to go through all these fucking videos.
There's many days where it's I do feel what Dan's saying, but that's why you have to, you know, for me anyway, I have to look at it as like, you know, it's not a job, it's a hobby. You know, I enjoy talking shit, you know, having a few drinks, having a few laughs with the chat and shit like that, because you can get, you know, caught up in, you know, all the numbers and what is this translating to? What does it matter anyway? You know what I mean? And you could really start to spiral with that. And I think Chad is a guy, we'll bring it back to Chad. I think he's a guy who gets lost in that. You know what I mean? He's fixated with the numbers. He has to be the best. In reality, at the end of the day, it's just, you're talking shit on people who are doing the exact same thing, essentially, as you, Chad. You know, everyone's on YouTube. You know, no one's, I mean, outside of like Kevin Brennan, no one's really like doing that well.
I mean, is Kevin Brennan doing well? I mean,
well, that's another argument to even have.
For how much time he puts into it, and like he doesn't seem to have any sort of life. Like, when's the last time the guy took a vacation? Like, what's the point of making $200,000 a year if you can't like stop and smell the roses every once in a while? I don't know. That's kind of the way I like. Be careful what you wish for, because it's not always, you know, great. He feels like, if I'm putting myself in Kevin Brennan's shoes, he feels like he can't take his foot off the gas, because then this will all go away, you know. And he wants to probably pay for his kids' college or put some away for retirement or whatever.
When he dies,
or when he dies or whatever. So like he probably, you know, and I know some people that do much inside baseball, Dan, but I think to bring it to like when we were saying about Chad is so fucking wrapped up in all of that it comes across. And then what happens is you have shows like today you have people getting turned off by that because they see, what's really behind the hood. With Chad, he's not even really good at hiding what his motivations are, and that takes away from all of it.
This is what angers me. And you see it here in the comment section.
J.E.'s one of Winby's boys, by the way. So
this is funny. Kick Lomir and the stream. This is bad. This is why you'll be nothing. You always will be nothing, you guys. You guys are garbage. Like, it needs to stop. Here's the thing. As a chatter in Chad Zumock's, show that I did, I never did stuff like this. And here's the reason why. I'm educated. I also understand that to push a show towards its pinnacle, you don't make comments like that. Those are very, thanks, Murray, you're the worst. This is what I'm saying. You don't push a show towards its pinnacle with comments like that. You degrade it and you make it go downwards. And that's an issue. And I have an issue with that because fight me in real life. J.E., you're probably a fag. And I won't touch you because I don't want to, get any prosecution charges on, hate crimes. It's just disturbing to me to watch people just be so and this is the thing. Chad Zumock's disrespectful towards Ski Mask. These people are disrespectful towards this show. When does it end? When does anybody come to the realization, you know what? Instead of being a complete cuck asshole to anything that I dislike, maybe I should just say, you know what? It's not my vibe. It's not my taste. I'm good off of it. Like,
change the channel. If you don't like it, change the channel.
Yeah, like Dan, you know what Dan did? This is perfect. Like, take something from this, and I'm not going to shit on you, Dan, okay, or anything.
But
here it
comes. No, I'm not doing a but. What I'm saying is this: Mersh is a great man. Shut the fuck up, you fucking J, you fucking faggot. What I'm saying is this. Sorry, Dan. What I'm saying is, Dan and I had some, discrepancies.
Is that what they're called? Well, baby, the chat has turned. The chat is it's a pro Dan chat now. I like that.
I know. Whose show is this, bro? Yo, don't
hostile takeover.
Hostile takeover, Dan. No wonder Chet hates your ass. No, but like Dan, I said some horrible things. We had discrepancies. I learned my ways. I rebounded, and now I'm better for it. And now I realize I was in the wrong. I will never make that mistake again. I will never be aggressive towards your, family's existence. So, but people don't understand. Like, you need to smell the roses, calm down, rethink life, look at it from a logical point of view. Nothing that you see is what it seems. It's not what you think. It's what the viewer thinks.
It's a game within the game.
It's a game within the game. You're right. You can't just assume everyone thinks what you think, because then you're the loser, because no one thinks what you think. And John can admit to that. Right? John? Buddy? And Dan, that's how you get rid of John. So, Dan, everyone left. All right, boys. That's the show. I'm glad everyone watched it. I was able to convince John and Dan to leave the show. That's great. I loved it. That's perfect. You guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you for watching, and that was brilliant. All right, peace out, boys.